Chronicles of the Rise of a Cultivation Family. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 126, Understanding the Pill Recipe. The more spiritual medicines and types there are in the recipe, the higher the requirements for the fire. The marrow cleansing pill needs to be refined with earth fire, not to mention the more complicated broken limb regeneration pill. There are 4 second level spiritual medicines and more than 200 first level spiritual medicines. Even if the second level spiritual wood spiritual flame is used to smelt them, it will probably take more than 4 hours. In addition, almost all auxiliary medicines only need less than half of the amount, and it will take some time to process the spiritual medicine. The whole refining process will exceed 4 hours, or even 5 hours, but with his cultivation, it will be very difficult to continue refining the pill for such a long time, and the success rate of refining the pill will be greatly reduced. Yun Yongzhu thought, since Elder Yu said that a first level alchemist can refine this broken limb regeneration pill, there must be a way, otherwise wouldn't it be a waste of these 12 precious alchemy materials? After thinking about it, he continued to look at the requirements of various spiritual medicines and the recipe in the specific refining order. First, put in the main medicine, the 1000-year-old snowbone ginseng, for quenching, and then put in the spiritual aconite black gastrodia, grey wood, crepe myrtle, and spiritual grass. When putting in the spiritual medicine, the heat must be kept stable and the flame must be kept even. The faster the quenching, the better. When the first batch of materials is almost quenched, while carefully maintaining the essence of the medicine liquid, put in the second main medicine, the petals of the raw bone flower, and the ground root, purple cassia, white fortune fruit, ling-pinelia, turtle blood grass, and shezizi. When putting in the spiritual medicine, the flame must be kept stable. After putting in the second batch of spiritual medicines, you can add an appropriate amount of water as appropriate to avoid overheating and wasting the medicine liquid. After the petals of the raw bone flower melt into the medicine liquid, immediately put in a silver leaf grass to blend the medicine liquid. Then put in the last main medicine, the 9-leaf vitality grass, and the heather swift grass, dragon beard grass, turtle blood grass, starlight grass. After the 9-leaf vitality grass is refined, put in the last silverleaf grass to blend into the medicine liquid. Next, you just need to carefully refine the entire furnace of liquid medicine until the quenching is completed. Then you can start to condense the pill and then collect the pill. After reading the entire pill recipe, Yun Yongzhu already had a general process in mind. The refining method of this broken limb regeneration pill is not much different from other pills, but there are 3 main medicines, so you must pay attention to the blending of the medicinal properties of the liquid medicine. The requirements for the flame power are also very simple. As for the temperature, stability is a standard condition for refining almost all pills. After reading the refining process, Yun Yongzhu hurriedly looked at the processing requirements for various spiritual medicines under the pill recipe. For example, the toxicity of the spiritual aconite needs to be removed, the pollen of the heather needs to be removed, and the flower, leaf, and root of the flying star flower needs to be put in 3 times with the 3 main medicines. In order to deepen his understanding of this pill recipe, Yun Yongzhu closed his eyes and thought about the medicinal properties of the medicines in it. These 3 main medicines are all tonic spiritual medicines. One is cold, one is hot, and one is warm. The 3 are different, so 2 silverleaf grasses are used to blend. As for the auxiliary medicines, those with cold properties were gathered together and put in together with the main medicines with cold properties. After Yun Yongzhu sorted out the medicinal properties of the entire recipe in his mind and rehearsed the refining process more than 10 times, he heard the voice of the elder Yu. 1 hour is up. Hand in the recipe and come to me to get the materials for the broken limb regeneration pill. Get one first, and the second one can only be obtained after the first one fails or is completed. Yun Yongzhu focused his eyes after hearing the voice, and then he noticed that there was not even a stone platform on the wide stage. Only Yun Yongzhu and a few others were left on the stage, and there was Yu standing at the edge of the stage. Yun Yongzhu had already engraved all the contents of the recipe in his mind. He hurried to Yusuao's side to hand in the recipe and get a set of medicinal materials for the broken limb regeneration pill. I'm asking for monthly tickets. Are there any book friends who can operate it? Please help me operate it. Chapter 127 Earth Fire Alchemy Platform. After he received all the materials, he looked at the empty competition platform in confusion, not knowing where to go. The temporary alchemy platform had been moved away. Should the materials be placed directly on the ground? Yusui distributed the other 5 sets of materials. Seeing that the 6 people were looking at him, he smiled mysteriously. He took out a round magic plate and cast a spell on it. The competition platform trembled slightly after a while. 10 holes with a diameter of more than 3 feet appeared on the platform, and then a round alchemy platform rose from below. The 6 people on the stage looked at this scene in amazement, and the monks below were even more shocked. Brotherly, you have been in this big competition peak for 30 years. Did you know that there is such a thing under the square? I have never seen it. Elder Yu, this is not the ground fire platform, right? Yun Yongzhu pointed to the more than 4-foot high furnace fire platform made of fire spirit bricks in the middle of the circular alchemy platform. Yusui nodded and said, yes, this is the earth fire platform that the sect built specifically for the alchemy and refining competition. Without this earth fire platform, I would not feel comfortable handing over the materials for the broken limb regeneration pill to you to refine. Sure enough, Yun Yongzhu thought that they would prepare other higher level spiritual flame fuels for them at that time. He was narrow-minded. I didn't expect to build an earth fire platform directly on the competition stage. It was really generous. There were people coming and going in this square. It couldn't be used at ordinary times. It could only be used during the competition. It was really luxurious. Okay, don't stand here. Each of you choose an alchemy platform to go in. Yun Yongzhu and the other 6 quickly picked an alchemy platform at random, walked in, and took out the jade boxes containing spiritual medicines from the storage bags distributed by Yusui one by one. The alchemy platform is divided into 2 parts. One is the stone platform for placing spiritual medicine materials, and the other is the earth fire platform for refining pills. The design of this stone platform is very delicate. The hole is a circular ring with an entrance and exit of about 3 feet. The diameter of the platform is also 3 or 4 feet wide. The area of the entire curved platform is more than enough to put down 500 or 600 jade boxes. The ground fire platform is located in the open space in the center of the entire alchemy platform. It is cylindrical and has a diameter of about 1.5 feet. It can hold all the small alchemy furnaces. In the center of the ground fire platform is a fire eye with a diameter of about 1.5 inches. The ground fire comes out from here. Alchemy furnaces are usually small. Large alchemy furnaces can only be booked in advance with the refiner. Moreover, large alchemy furnaces are generally only used by high-level alchemists when refining a large number of low-level elixirs. They are owned by some forces, while alchemists generally own small alchemy furnaces. The smallest inner diameter of a small alchemy furnace is 6 inches, and the largest will not exceed 18 inches. So the size of this ground fire platform is just right. Of course, there are smaller alchemy furnaces, but they are all inferior alchemy furnaces. When used for alchemy, the success rate and the success rate of the pill are not very high. Because if the alchemy furnace is too small, the formation that assists in alchemy cannot be embedded in it. And in the middle of the alchemy platform and the ground fire platform is the area where the alchemist can move when refining the alchemy. The 6 people took out the spiritual medicine in the storage bag and checked that there were 220 jade boxes before they felt relieved. By the way, before the competition begins, I would like to ask, you all use your own alchemy furnaces, right? Does anyone want the alchemy furnace provided by the sect? When the 6 people heard this, they nodded and shook their heads, saying that it would be fine to use their own alchemy furnaces. After all, the success rate would be higher if the alchemy furnace they are used to using is used to. Yun Yongzhu thought. Fortunately, there was no such thing as, in order to be fair, you must use the alchemy furnace provided by the sect, otherwise he would suffer a great loss. His 9-dragon cauldron is a medicine cauldron. Among the alchemy furnaces owned by more than 300 contestants, its effective assisting in alchemy should be one of the best. Asking for monthly tickets and operations officers. Chapter 128. Pill Success. Since you all unanimously decided to use your own alchemy furnaces, let's officially start this competition. The time is set for 6 hours. 6 hours is enough time, and with the help of the earth fire, the 6 people can't help but feel relieved. After Yuzuawi finished speaking, he opened the protective covers of all the alchemy tables to prevent the furnace from exploding during the alchemy. Although the 6 people on the stage have rich experience in alchemy, this is the first time for them to refine the broken limb regeneration pill. It's better to be careful. When everyone on the stage heard that the competition had begun, they immediately took action. Yun Yongzhu first found the spiritual medicine to be processed, detoxified those that needed to be detoxified, removed the excess parts that needed to be removed, and split those that needed to be split. Some spiritual medicines can be processed as soon as they get started, but some spiritual medicines need time. For example, splitting a spiritual medicine only requires a few cuts. And to remove the toxicity of the spiritual medicine, Yun Yongzhu used detoxification water to brew it, but brewing takes time. When refining each kind of elixir, there are different requirements for the treatment of its medicine. This detoxifying water is also a must-have for alchemists, because many spiritual medicines have slight toxins. When the recipe requires the removal of toxicity, it must be processed according to the recipe. There are also requirements for the tools used to cut spiritual medicines that need to be cut into different parts and thrown into the alchemy furnace according to their medicinal properties. Yun Yongzhu has a set of golden stone knives, a set of jade knives, and a set of spiritual wood knives, which are specially used to cut spiritual medicines of different properties and medicinal properties. While brewing the spiritual medicine, he quickly opened all the jade boxes containing spiritual medicines on the stone table, cut and divided them quickly according to the required amount in the recipe, and placed them in the order in which they were put into the alchemy furnace. After arranging and sorting the medicinal materials, Yun Yongzhu found that it would take some time for the spiritual medicine to remove the toxicity, so he familiarized himself with the ground fire table and the ground fire. When he placed the processed spiritual medicines in their proper places, less than an incense stick of time had passed. At this time, the other 5 people were still busy identifying the spiritual medicines. From this, it can be seen that Yun Yongzhu's 90 points in the second round were not taken for nothing. Since all the spiritual medicines were ready, Yun Yongzhu took out the 9-dragon cauldron and started to preheat it. The 6 people were concentrating on processing the spiritual medicines, or warming up the furnace. In their eyes and hearts, there was only 1 acre and 3 points of land in their alchemy platform. The competition stage was quiet, but the competition stage was very lively. Wang Yifan was an ordinary outer sect disciple. Today he also came to the big competition peak square to watch the excitement. However, because his cultivation was not high, he was far away from the competition stage. But even if he could not watch the scene of the competition on the competition stage up close, it would not affect his good mood at this time. It turned out that he won several times the spiritual stone bet in the first 2 competitions. At this time, he was gathering with familiar fellow disciples. Brother Wang, tell me, can Master Yun still win the first place in this alchemy competition? Yes, Brother Wang, your predictions for the previous 2 games were very accurate. It's a pity that we didn't follow you to bet. No matter what, you have to lead us this time. Yes. Yes. Okay, that's what I was going to tell you. Listen to me, then bet on Brother Yun again. I believe that Brother Yun will continue to maintain his good performance and win the first place in this alchemy competition. Brother Wang, I'm sorry, the odds for my bet on Brother Yun are 1 to 1. Do you still want to buy it? What? What's the point of this odds? Isn't this a joke? Why would I buy it if it's 1 to 1? It has to be at least 2 to 1 to make a profit. All the cultivators who wanted to follow Wang Yifan to earn spirit stones got anxious when they heard the odds. Go to other places where the market is open and ask if junior brother Yun still has a 1:2 odds. Everyone was anxious to find other places where the market was open to ask, but Wang Yifan did not take any action. He knew that senior brother Yun's odds were not as good as any other places where the market was open. However, he touched the bag on his waist and was satisfied. Wang Yifan had wanted a storage bag for a long time, and now he finally had enough spirit stones. After buying the storage bag, he could use the remaining spirit stones to buy half a bottle of low-grade key gathering pills at a low price from his cousin Wang Yiming. It was really thanks to his cousin Wang Yiming that he was able to earn so many spirit stones. It turned out that his cousin's employer was really an excellent alchemist, as he said. Wang Yifan touched the bulging bag and was glad that he believed his cousin's words. As Wang Yifan expected, several people returned disappointed. All the odds of Yun Yongzhu in the market were 1:1. But this was also natural. Anyone with a discerning eye could see that Yun Yongzhu had a great chance of winning the championship. In this case, of course, no one would like to give spiritual stones to others. It turned out that at this time in the alchemy platform, Yun Yongzhu had successfully put all the medicinal materials into the alchemy furnace without any danger. Yun Yongzhu was very ambitious. He wanted to refine 2 furnaces of elixirs, so when he was refining the spiritual medicine and quenching the liquid medicine, he kept the fire high to speed up the smelting of the spiritual medicine. Thanks to his unremitting practice and use of the fire control art for more than 10 years, his fire control art has made further progress after the great success and reached the perfect state. Now that he has mastered the fire control, he can always keep the temperature stable. Of course, there is another reason why he can smelt the spiritual medicine so quickly, because he has a deeper understanding of the medicinal properties and proportions of the limb regeneration pill recipe, which is really thanks to his experience of pill enlightenment. Therefore, Yun Yongzhu can add the next spiritual medicine in time with the changes in the liquid medicine in the 9-dragon cauldron, instead of rigidly following the pill recipe, which also saves him a lot of time. The most fundamental reason is actually because Yun Yongzhu's consciousness is stronger and his soul has the characteristics of being sensitive. Yun Yongzhu put all his consciousness into the 9-dragon cauldron. He did not let go of any impurities he sensed and tried his best to avoid the loss of the essence of the medicine. Under Yun Yongzhu's unremitting tempering, the medicine in the 9-dragon cauldron became more and more pure. When he could no longer sense the appearance of impurities, Yun Yongzhu slightly increased the firepower to evaporate the excess water in the medicine. Looking at the small sticky dark green liquid in the furnace, Yun Yongzhu knew that the fire was almost ready. He slowly reduced the ground fire and waited quietly for the right time. About half a quarter of an hour later, Yun Yongzhu saw the thick dark green liquid and suddenly he had a blessing in his mind and he quickly pinched the hand. He put the Ningdonju into the 9-dragon cauldron, and then a small humming sound came from the cauldron. This step of condensing the pill is like this. Many times, you have to rely on the vague and mysterious feeling to act. This is the alchemy talent that cultivators often mention. At this time, it was the last step, but Yun Yongzhu did not relax. He just waited for the 9-dragon cauldron to calm down, and used his spiritual power to collect the pills. After a while, he opened the lid of the 9-dragon cauldron and quickly used his spiritual power to absorb the pills inside. 2 green bean-sized pills in the cauldron flew into the J bottle on the stone platform. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 129, Jinden Zenran Huang Changsheng appears. Yun Yongzhu nervously leaned over to the mouth of the bottle and saw that the 2 black pills inside were intact and smelled strange. He couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. After working hard for several hours, he finally refined the broken limb regeneration pill. Yun Yongzhu didn't check the quality and put the 2 pills he had finally refined into the storage bag. At this time, his spiritual power was less than 10% and his face was slightly pale. He hurriedly took out a top-grade key recovering pill from the storage bag and swallowed it. The effect of this top-grade key recovering pill was indeed extraordinary. It only took 1 stick of incense to restore 80% of his spiritual power. When Yun Yongzhu comprehended the recipe of the broken limb regeneration pill, he also thought about the amount of materials in the recipe. According to the amount and ratio of the spiritual medicine in the recipe, it is guessed that this furnace of materials is a whole batch of materials split into 3 or 4 portions, or even more portions, and then distributed to them. Yun Yongzhu looked at the arc-shaped stone table. More than 200 jade boxes covered most of the tablet top. Almost all of the jade boxes still had more than half of the auxiliary medicines and spiritual medicines left. He thought about it and did not pick up the remaining spiritual medicines on the stone table. Then Yun Yongzhu left the alchemy table and ran to Yusuawi to ask him for the materials for the second batch of broken limb regeneration pills. Boy Yun, you have refined a furnace so quickly? Elder Yusuawi was closing his eyes to rest. He was surprised at Yun Yongzhu's speed. He looked at the others, who were still refining, and one had just put in the second batch of spiritual medicines. He stared at Yun Yongzhu with strange eyes, as if he wanted to see through him. Yun Yongzhu was a little scared by the eyes of the foundation building cultivator, but thinking of the tight time, he didn't care much and urged, Elder Yu, please give me the spiritual medicine quickly. Yusuawi stopped staring at Yun Yongzhu and took out a dozen exquisite jade boxes from the storage bag. Take it. Add the remaining spiritual medicine from the first batch of ingredients and you'll have more than enough to make a furnace. Sure enough, just as Yun Yongzhu guessed, the furnace of broken limb regeneration pills they refined was actually only a fraction of the entire batch of ingredients. This is understandable. After all, whether it is the 1000-year-old snowbone ginseng or the 9-leaf vitality grass, they are both very rare and precious second-grade upper-grade spiritual medicines, and the bone flower is also a rare second-grade middle-grade spiritual herb. Even the silverleaf grass, dragon beard grass, turtle blood grass, non-ashwood, starlight grass, etc. and the auxiliary medicines are also relatively rare first-grade spiritual herbs. Yun Yongzhu got the second batch of ingredients for the broken limb regeneration pill and immediately returned to his alchemy table. This batch was relatively simple. Many auxiliary medicines had already been processed. He only needed to divide the new auxiliary medicines from Yusuawi. When he was done with everything, his whole body's spiritual power would be fully restored, and it would not affect his refining of pills. Yun Yongzhu took out the tools and carefully processed the new materials. The audience had already exploded. It seems that the champion of this alchemy competition must be Master Yun's senior brother Raoang, junior sister Yu. I found out that Yun Yongzhu is an inner sect disciple of Yun Taipik. He joined the sect more than 10 years ago and became an alchemist only after joining the sect. He seldom interacts with others. Refining pills is not only about speed, but also about quality. If other people can refine high quality pills, then it is still unknown who will take the first place in this alchemy competition. Senior brother Wang, you were so sure that senior brother Yun would be among the top in the previous 2 competitions. I wonder if you know him? In this year's alchemy competition, Yun Yongzhu stole the show. Even junior sister Ning couldn't compare to him. All the foundation building cultivators were also discussing Yun Yongzhu, but they were not like the other onlookers who just gossiped. Luckily I came today, otherwise I would have missed a good disciple. Brother Lu, you already have so many disciples, don't compete with us. Yes, Brother Lu, with so many disciples, can you teach them all? Anyway, I have my eyes on this disciple, so let's decide who Yun Yongzhu will be the disciple of. When more than a dozen people were verbally arguing over Yun Yongzhu, a voice suddenly interrupted. Lu Yuanzi, who is Yun Yongzhu you are talking about? Is his talent in alchemy outstanding? Everyone looked at the man and was shocked at first sight. They all stood up and saluted respectfully. Meet Uncle Huang. Greetings, Uncle Huang. It turned out that the man was Huang Chengsheng, the golden elixir master of Qingshan sect. Huang Chengsheng waved his hand, indicating that there was no need for courtesy. As soon as Yusuawi discovered the situation here, he immediately came down from the stage and came to salute Huang Chengsheng. Uncle Huang, have you come out of retreat? Yes, I came out and found that no one was there. Then I remembered that today was the day of the alchemy competition, so I came to take a look. Huang Chengsheng continued. Let's talk about Yun Yongzhu. Lu Yuanzi took out the Huangzu grass that Yun Yongzhu had refined from his storage bag and diligently introduced to him the miracles that Yun Yongzhu had created since the competition began. Yusuawi also took out Yun Yongzhu's answer sheet and handed it to him. Huang Chengsheng took the Huangzu grass from Lu Yuanzi and the answer sheet that Yusuawi took out. While he carefully checked, he listened to everyone's description of Yun Yongzhu. The more he looked, the more satisfied he was, and the more he listened, the more surprised he was. This was simply the disciple that the ancestor gave to him. I want this disciple. You can find another one. Huang Changsheng announced the result directly and ignored the shocked expressions of the crowd. He took a seat by himself, took out the tea set, and waited leisurely for his disciple to finish refining the last batch of pills. Uncle Huang, my royal blood grass. Lu Yuanzi was about to cry, but had no tears. He watched Huang Changsheng put the royal blood grass into his storage bag as a matter of course. He had taken great pains to snatch it from others. Lu Yuanzi was still complaining to himself that he shouldn't have taken out the royal blood grass, but the others all looked unbelievable. Brother Yu, did Uncle Huang just say that he wanted to accept a disciple? Did you hear that? Didn't Uncle Huang say that he would not easily accept a disciple again? I thought Uncle Huang would not pass on his alchemy skills. Everyone was wondering if they were hallucinating, but Lu Yuanzi said, weren't we all vying for a disciple just now? Why can't Uncle Huang? This sentence woke them up. Yes, with an alchemy talent like Yun Yongzhu, who wouldn't be tempted? Most of the cultivators watching the alchemy competition had already noticed the abnormality that USUO had seen, and secretly guessed that Huang Changsheng was the sect's golden elixir master, so the scene gradually became quiet. However, the 6 people on the stage were unaware of the situation, and their minds were all attracted by the liquid medicine in the alchemy furnace. Yun Yongzhu had already started to refine the first batch of spiritual medicine. With 2 pills as a foundation, he was much more relaxed, and his movements became faster. After all, he had experience once, so it was easier to get started. 2 hours later, except Yun Yongzhu, the other 5 people successively made pills. Ning Xiaolin also made 2 limb regeneration pills, and she was very proud. She saw Yun Yongzhu was still refining the liquid medicine, and she couldn't help but wonder, so fierce in the front, but when it came to the actual alchemy, it became a silver spear waxhead. But she didn't feel happy for long, and guessed the real situation from the actions of the onlookers. When the 5 people made the pill, more than 3 hours had passed. Although the remaining time was barely enough to open the furnace once, they were out of spiritual power. Even if there were pills to quickly restore spiritual power, it would take some time. So they had to clean up the alchemy table and wait for Yun Yongzhu on the stage. Chapter 130 Winning the Championship. Although they all succeeded in refining the limb regeneration pill, they were not very happy. One reason was that the quality of the pill was not very good. In addition, Yun Yongzhu appeared in this alchemy competition. Yun Yongzhu attracted everyone's attention and did not leave them any chance to show off. The longer they waited, the uglier their faces became, especially one of the female cultivators. After waiting for an incense stick, she became impatient. She directly said to the elders, "Elders, are we going to wait forever?" Yu Zuai was unmoved, and the others were even calmer. Only the fellow disciples who were watching in the square were still whispering. Seeing that no one paid attention to her, she suddenly felt that she was asking for trouble, so she had to keep silent in embarrassment. The others on the stage were much smarter. They noticed that the atmosphere was not right, so they didn't say anything and waited honestly. As for Ning Xiaolin, she still had a glimmer of hope. She placed all her hopes of winning on the number and quality of the limb regeneration pills. Yun Yongzhu turned a deaf ear to what was happening outside and only thought about finishing the quenching of the liquid medicine in the 9-dragon cauldron. After about half an hour, he finally finished quenching the liquid medicine of the elixir and then successfully condensed and collected the elixir. Yun Yongzhu put away the jade bottle, wiped the sweat from his forehead, and breathed a sigh of relief. He finally succeeded in refining this furnace of elixir within the specified time, and 2 more broken limb regeneration pills. He only had time to pay attention to other things at this time, and found that the cultivators of the entire competition peak were watching him. The other contestants were already waiting for him at the center of the arena. Elder Yusuai saw that Yun Yongzhu had finished refining, so he didn't waste any more time, and took out the medicine testing bowl. The ranking of this alchemy competition will be determined by the best result of the medicine testing bowl. Ning Xiaolin, you will be the first to test it. Ning Xiaolin was very familiar with this medicine testing bowl, and she poured a broken limb regeneration pill into it with ease. Purity 80. The quality of the pill is middle grade C. Although alchemists can identify the general quality of pills, based on their experience, they cannot tell which pill of the same grade is better. This medicine testing bowl can accurately verify the quality of pills. In the minds of most cultivators, pills are divided into 3 grades: high, medium and low. The medicine testing bowl can be used to detect the purity of pills or liquid medicines. The higher the value, the purer it is, and the less pill poison and impurities it contains. Therefore, the quality of pills is divided into finer grades. Middle grade C is the lower quality among middle grade pills. Alchemists often refer to it as middle lower grade pills or middle lower grade pills. Ning Xiaolin felt a little relieved after seeing the purity value, and then poured in another pill. Purity 81. The quality of the elixir is middle grade C. Zhao Shiliang, 79. The quality of the elixir is low grade A. Liu Hengzi, 76. The quality of the elixir is low grade B. Liu Ozaki, 73. The quality of the elixir is low grade C. Wang Shili, 71. The quality of the elixir is low grade C. Everyone has refined elixirs that can be taken, rather than waste elixirs of the lowest grade, or below that contain too many impurities. From this, it can be seen that the alchemy skills of these 5 disciples are very superb. They only learned the unfamiliar second level elixir formula for an hour, and they successfully refined elixirs that can be taken for the first time. However, what people fear most is comparison. With Yun Yongzhu's example, everyone is looking forward to Yun Yongzhu's amazing results again. Yun Yongzhu, it's your turn. Yusuai knew that everyone was curious about his results, so he deliberately arranged Yun Yongzhu to be the last. In fact, he himself couldn't wait to know the number and quality of Yun Yongzhu's elixir. Yun Yongzhu had already taken out the jade bottle of elixir and was waiting. He poured the first one in. A large arc appeared on the halo. Purity is 79, and the quality of the elixir is lower grade A. Once this result was announced, everyone was in an uproar. What did I say? It's still unknown who will win. Sure enough, Senior Sister Ning's alchemy skills are more advanced. Impossible. Senior brother Yun just made a mistake. Don't make a fuss, listen to the back. Didn't junior brother Yun refine 2 furnaces of elixir? There should be at least one. Yes, the one with the best quality will be the main one. As they were discussing, everyone suddenly felt a sense of oppression. In an instant, many disciples in the early and middle stages of key training knelt on the ground, and those disciples floating in the air fell down like dumplings. This suffocating pressure disappeared in just a moment, but many disciples still reacted. It's the pressure of the spiritual energy of Jinden Zenren. As expected, only a clear voice sounded in everyone's ears. Junior brother you continue. Since Huang Changsheng spoke, no one dared to speak out, and the whole Dabi Peak was so quiet that only the sound of the wind remained. Yun Yongzhu was shocked. When did this Jinden Zenren come, and how could he be so quiet? His thoughts flashed through his mind, and he took out the pill in the medicine bowl, and continued to pour the next one into it. Purity 89. The quality of the pill is middle grade A. Hearing the result of the quality of the pill, the crowd below the stage was in commotion again. Yun Yongzhu also relaxed a little. Although he vaguely felt that the pill he refined this time was not bad, he was a little nervous after the previous accident, especially after discovering that a Jinden Zenren had come to the scene. Yun Yongzhu took out the pill refined from the second furnace and poured in the third pill. Purity 93. The quality of the upper grade C. As soon as these words came out, a handsome middle-aged male cultivator appeared on the stage in an instant. It turned out to be Huang Changsheng. Let me take a look. It's really a top-notch elixir. Haha. You are worthy of being my chosen disciple, Yun Yongzhu, right? Are you willing to become the 4th direct disciple of Huang Changsheng? Yun Yongzhu was startled by Huang Changsheng's appearance, and then shocked by his question. He was surprised and happy, and quickly replied, I do. Then he knelt down cleverly, bowed deeply, and performed a simple apprenticeship ceremony. The other 5 people on the stage took a breath at this time, full of shock and envy. They were shocked by the quality of the elixir refined by Yun Yongzhu, because only they knew how difficult it was to make this limb regeneration pill, and this was their first time to open the furnace. What made them even more envious was Yun Yongzhu's good luck, but thinking about Yun Yongzhu's performance in the entire alchemy competition, they were relieved, even if they were unwilling. Ning Xiaolin was really convinced this time, and she was not an alchemist of the same level as Yun Yongzhu. Don't underestimate these 11 purities. Although the difference is not heaven and earth, it is also a result that Ning Xiaolin cannot easily catch up with. Moreover, she saw clearly, just now that Yun Yongzhu only used the simplest alchemy method to refine 4 pills in 6 hours. The success rate are really amazing. Thank you for the reward from the Lord God. Chapter 131, Become a Disciple. People are like this. When they find that someone is better than themselves, they are full of jealousy and comparison. But when they find that the gap between themselves and that person is so big that they cannot catch up through their own efforts, the jealousy disappears, leaving only full admiration, even worship. Not to mention them, even more than a dozen foundation building cultivators were shocked, because even if they opened the furnace in front of everyone, they might not be able to successfully refine a second level elixir, let alone guarantee a top grade elixir. They envied Huang Changsheng for having a good disciple, and they also envied Yun Yongzhu for worshipping a giant unstage uncle as his master, and he was also a third level top grade alchemist. Huang Changsheng saw Yun Yongzhu paying homage to him, and he was overjoyed, and quickly helped Yun Yongzhu up. Yun Yongzhu only felt an invisible force holding him up, and he stood up involuntarily. Seeing this scene, Yu Suai smiled and said, "Congratulations to Uncle Huang, you have a good disciple." When the others heard it, they also hurried to congratulate. As for the tens of thousands of disciples watching in the square, they were more envious of Yun Yongzhu. They were envious of him for worshipping a giant and Zenran as his master. From now on, he would never lack cultivation resources, and building a foundation would be very simple. Yun Yongzhu felt dizzy at this time. Was he going to become a direct disciple? He had expected to be favored by his uncle in the foundation building period and be accepted as a disciple, and he was very confident in himself, but he had never thought that one day he would become a disciple of a giant and Zenran, and a direct disciple. Although he had the idea of being accepted as a disciple, he also tried hard to show himself in the competition, but he really didn't expect that before the results of the competition were officially announced, he would be accepted as a direct disciple by a giant and master. This was really unexpected. "Uncle Huang, what do you think of the next competition?" Huang Changsheng said without hesitation. "Do whatever you have to do." Then he patted Yun Yongzhu on the shoulder and said, "Disciple, your master will wait for you downstairs, and I will take you to Piomio Peak later." After the instructions, the figure flashed, and Huang Changsheng disappeared. When Yu Suai saw Huang Changsheng leave, he asked Yun Yongzhu politely with a smile on his face, "Junior brother Yun, do you think you need to test the last broken limb regeneration pill again?" When Yun Yongzhu poured the third pill, he noticed that there was still one pill in the jade bottle. Yun Yongzhu was startled by Yu Suai's address, and waved his hands repeatedly. "Elder Yu, please don't call me that, I can't bear it. I'm only a key training disciple now. You should call me Yun boy." Yu Suai saw that Yun Yongzhu spoke very sincerely, and his attitude was very serious. He knew that he was speaking from the heart, so he didn't insist. "Well, I'll call you nephew Yun first, and you can call me Uncle Yu. However, you are worthy of the title of junior brother. Since you have become the direct disciple of Uncle Huang, it is only a matter of time before you become a foundation building person. Well, Uncle Yu, let's test this last pill." Although the first place in the alchemy competition is already in his pocket, since the broken limb regeneration pill has been refined, Yun Yongzhu still wants to know its quality. After he finished speaking, he took out the pills in the medicine testing bowl and poured the last broken limb regeneration pill into it. This pill did not give people a bright feeling. It was still a top grade C grade elixir. Even the purity value of the medicine testing bowl was still at the same position. Although Yun Yongzhu himself was not too surprised, others did not think so. You know, these two pills were refined in the same furnace. The quality of the pills is so high, which proves that Yun Yongzhu's alchemy skills are indeed extraordinary, and it is not a reason like good luck. The last pill had been tested, and Yu Suai did not waste any more time, and directly announced the rankings of this alchemy competition. The first place in this alchemy competition is Yun Yongzhu, the inner disciple of Yun Peak. This first place was well deserved, and everyone cheered. Yusuai continued. The second place in the alchemy competition is Ning Xiaolin from Loyu Peak. The third place is Zhao Shilian from Zisu Peak. The first place can enter the treasure house of the alchemy hall and choose any treasure. The second place can choose a precious second level pill recipe, and the third place can get a second level top grade elixir soul nourishing pill. All the cultivators were salivating after hearing this, and they wished they could receive these prizes on behalf of the 3 people. Okay, this alchemy competition has ended successfully, and the weapon refining competition will be held here in a month. After saying this, Yusuai no longer paid attention to the disciples, who were bustling under the stage. Zhao Shiliang, this is your soul nourishing pill, keep it. Zhao Shiliang excitedly took the jade bottle handed to him by Yusuai with both hands. The effect of the soul nourishing pill is to nourish and grow the soul of the cultivator. It is very precious to all cultivators, and even Yusuai himself covets it. The soul can only grow with the growth of the cultivator's cultivation. As for the legendary practice of cultivating the soul, it is very precious and rare, and even Qingshan sect may not have it. And the spiritual medicine pill that can benefit the growth of the soul and consciousness is also very precious. This soul nourishing pill is especially useful for alchemists, because when alchemists refine pills, they need to use the power of the soul, that is, the consciousness of the cultivator in the process of tempering. Therefore, the stronger the soul of the cultivator, the more powerful his alchemy skills. Yun Yongzhu and Ning Xiaolin watched from the side, and were also envious. However, this emotion came and went quickly, because the 2 remembered that their prizes were more precious. Xiaolin, have you decided what recipe you want? I thought Ning Xiaolin would think for a while, but she didn't even think about it and said directly, I've already decided, I want the purple essence pill. Xiaolin, have you thought about it? The spiritual medicine materials for refining the purple essence pill are not easy to collect, and the probability of assisting the foundation building is only half of that of the foundation building pill. Are you sure you want the purple essence pill recipe? Uncle Yu, I've made up my mind. I want this recipe. Ning Xiaolin nodded firmly. The purple essence pill is also a spiritual pill that assists the foundation building, which can increase the probability of successful foundation building by 30%, so it is also very precious. It's just that the materials for refining the purple essence pill are difficult to collect. It's not easy to open the furnace, and the effect of assisting the foundation building is not as good as the foundation building pill. So even if the purple essence pill is simpler to refine, its reputation is still inferior to that of the foundation building pill. However, despite this, the recipe of the purple essence pill is still very precious, and it cannot be exchanged for it with sect points or spirit stones. Yun Yongzhu read ancient books and knew about the existence of the purple essence pill. He had thought about the recipe before, but such a precious recipe was not something that a Yunqi training disciple like him could covet. He gave up the search for the purple essence pill recipe in just a few months, and he did not have the confidence to collect all the ingredients for the recipe before he turned 60. Moreover, the situation was different now. Yun Yongzhu worshipped a master in the golden core stage, so he did not have to think about the foundation building process. Okay, you go with senior brother Lu, he will give you the recipe. After sending Zhao Shiliang and Ning Xiaolin away, most of the cultivators watching on the great competition peak had left. Senior brother Yun, you. Before Yu Zuai could finish his words, he was interrupted by Huang Changsheng, who suddenly appeared. Master Yu, leave the next thing to me. I will take my little apprentice to the alchemy hall treasury. Don't worry, I know the rules, and will tell him to choose a treasure. What could Yu Zuai say? He had to take out a token and handed it to Master Huang respectfully with both hands. Huang Changsheng put away the token, and before the two could react, he grabbed Yun Yongzhu's shoulder and disappeared in front of Yu Zuai. Thank you for the reward from the Lord God. Muah. Chapter 132. A dazzling variety of treasures. Master, how far is the alchemy hall? Yun Yongzhu was held up in the air by a spiritual force. He looked at the green mountain spiritual field that was rapidly retreating under his feet and asked Huang Changsheng. Not far, we'll be there soon. We are going to the main hall of the alchemy hall in Danlian Peak. There are many treasures in the treasure house. Disciple, have you decided what kind of treasure you want to choose? Master, I haven't decided yet, because I don't know what's inside. Do you have any good suggestions? Disciple, let me ask you, what do you think is the most important to you? Yun Yongzhu thought for a while, and said in a questioning tone, alchemy. Yes, since his success rate of making pills has increased, he has never lacked resources for cultivation. Not only that, he can also use this to help his family. Then why did you learn alchemy? To practice. Yes. So, practice is the most important thing. Disciple, since you have become my direct disciple, I will remind you that for us cultivators, only the realm of cultivation is the foundation of our lives. Take alchemy for example. If you are only in the middle or early stage of key training today, can you still use the earth fire to refine a second level limb regeneration pill? If you have a cultivation of foundation building, do you still need the help of earth fire to refine this second level elixir? I have lived to this age, and have seen too many alchemists, weapon refiners and talented cultivators who were confused by external things, and wasted their years. By the time they reacted, they could no longer turn back, and could only helplessly wait for the day when their lifespan ran out. You look like you should be in your early 20s now, right? Yun Yongzhu nodded and said, Master, your disciple is already 22 years old. Huang Changsheng went on to say, at this age, it is time to plan for foundation building. You have already worshipped me as your master. With me here, you will definitely have a share of the quota for the foundation building pills in the sect. However, the foundation building pills are expensive, and you have to accumulate some sect points yourself. Although sect points are not easy to earn, it is still much easier for us alchemists. Master, I know about this. I originally planned to take on the alchemy task after the alchemy competition to earn sect points and prepare for foundation building. It's good that you have a plan. There are countless rare treasures in the treasure house of the alchemy hall. The master is so long-winded just because he is afraid that you will be dazzled by the treasures inside. Since you want to refine pills to earn sect points, why not start with the treasures that improve alchemy? By the way, your current alchemy techniques are still basic techniques, right? Yes. Tempering uses spiritual power. The Dan condensation art was learned from the classic book Introduction to Alchemy in Bai Hall, and the fire control art was exchanged for spirit stones in the Sutra Pavilion. Huang Changsheng thought to himself, it was indeed so. Originally, he only planned to accept Yun Yongzhu as a nominal disciple, and then promote him to a direct disciple after Yun Yongzhu established his foundation. After seeing Yun Yongzhu's alchemy skills, he changed his mind. Using the simplest alchemy method, he was able to refine a second level high quality elixir the first time he opened the furnace. It can be seen that this disciple's alchemy talent is really extraordinary. Then you can look for alchemy techniques in the treasure house so that your alchemy skills will be greatly improved. It will be easier to earn points, and you will benefit a lot from your future cultivation. Of course, if you have better ideas or find treasures in the treasure house that are more beneficial to cultivation, you don't have to stick to my words. Well, thank you for your guidance, Master. This is what a master should do. Tell me about your background and family. Master, I'm a descendant of Yun's House Yuxin family Yunwu Mountain. After a few words, the two arrived at Danlian Peak. This is a towering vast mountain. The spiritual energy of Danlian Peak is even more abundant than Yuntai Peak. Yun Yongzhu's pores opened up, and he sighed comfortably. What a rich spiritual energy. There is a second level medium grade spiritual vein on Danlian Peak, and the spiritual energy is decent. When you have chosen the treasure, go to your master's Piomio Peak and choose a cave on a second level high grade spiritual vein. In the future, meditate and practice on the spiritual cave every day, which will help build the foundation. Yun Yongzhu was overjoyed when he heard this. This is a second level spiritual vein, and there are only about 1,000 in the entire sect, not to mention a second level high grade one. Huang Changsheng took Yun Yongzhu directly to a pagoda and handed him a token that looked like gold, but was not gold. This is the token for the first prize of the alchemy competition. Take it into the treasure house. When you have chosen a treasure, just recite it in your mind and you will be teleported out naturally. Remember, once your hand touches that treasure, you will not have the opportunity to choose it again. Be careful and don't take more. Go, your master is waiting for you here. Yun Yongzhu nodded solemnly, holding the token with the word Dan engraved on one side and the word Chuan engraved on the other side, and walked towards the ancient pagoda. Yun Yongzhu took only a few steps, and felt a flash in front of his eyes. He entered a dreamlike space with twinkling stars all around. He looked at his feet. There was no floor or soil, and it was completely nothing. There were only dense stars all around. The token in his hand had disappeared. Yun Yongzhu took a tentative step, then stepped firmly, and walked a few steps. Could it be that the spiritual light flashing in the air was a treasure? Yun Yongzhu walked towards a light spot in confusion. Portable medicine garden. Yun Yongzhu exclaimed. This is a 3rd or 4th level magic weapon that was occasionally mentioned in the classics. It can be used to grow spiritual medicines. It is a treasure that all alchemists dream of. Yun Yongzhu checked the light balls around him again. 3rd level alchemy furnace. Mica. Purple rhythm dragon king ginseng. Top grade ice spirit stone. Top grade wind escape talisman. Blood escape technique. 1000-year mysterious Yun jade. Yun Yongzhu looked at them one by one, and it was a feast for the eyes. There were many treasures that he couldn't recognize, but from their spiritual fluctuations, he could tell that the grades were not low. He was excited and immersed in the ocean of treasures, wishing that all these treasures belonged to him. However, this could only be imagined. Yun Yongzhu was still very rational, and he soon sobered up. Yun Yongzhu sighed at the strength and foundation of the sect. Even a treasure house in the alchemy hall had so many treasures. It is conceivable how fascinating the sect's treasures must be. He carefully searched for the alchemy techniques he needed among these rare treasures. After an intense stick of time, Yun Yongzhu still didn't find what he wanted, but he found a kind of strange fire. Wood heart fire. Yun Yongzhu hesitated for a while. This is very suitable for his heaven and earth strange fire. But he thought that he was only in the key training stage now. With his mortal body, he was afraid that if he just touched the wood heart fire, he would be burned to ashes and die without a complete body. He was afraid that he could only start to refine it after successfully building the foundation, but after building the foundation, he had his own inner fire. Although this heaven and earth strange fire was stronger than the inner fire of the foundation, it was still more easy to control the inner fire generated by his own cultivation. Yun Yongzhu thought that maybe he and this wood heart fire really had no fate. He looked at the wood heart fire reluctantly for a few times, and continued to look for the alchemy techniques. After searching for a long time below, he still didn't find what he wanted. Yun Yongzhu looked at the transparent light shields covering the sky above his head, and couldn't help wondering if it was above. I have no inspiration. It's painful. I type so slowly 4,000 words is too difficult. Chapter 133 9-turn alchemy technique. But how to get up? Yun Yongzhu had tried it before, but it was impossible to fly from this place, so he just kept circling below. He was so anxious that he was spinning around. He couldn't fly, so he had to walk up. Yun Yongzhu's eyes lit up, and he tried to step on the air, and it really worked. So he walked up to the balls of light, as if he was walking on an air ladder. Magic weapons, elixirs, spiritual medicines, talismans, magic jade slips. Yun Yongzhu walked higher and higher, and before long, he finally found the alchemy formula he had been looking for a long time. The Great Starlight Alchemy technique uses the power of stars to refine the liquid medicine and improve its purity. The impurity content of the pills refined by this alchemy technique is low. It contains the Star Quenching Method, the Starlight Fusion Pill Secret, and the Star Collection Pill Secret. The Inscription Alchemy technique is a set of strange alchemy techniques. The difference from ordinary alchemy techniques is that in the process of alchemy, various inscriptions with different effects are used to refine the impurities of the liquid medicine and promote the fusion of medicinal properties. The pills refined by this method have various inscription patterns on the surface. There are Inscription Quenching Method, Inscription Pill Condensation Secret, and Inscription Pill Collection Method. It contains 3,600 inscription patterns such as strengthening the foundation, nourishing the essence, replenishing ki, healing, breaking barriers, prolonging life, improving combat power, transforming the body, and increasing comprehension. The water yin alchemy technique is an ancient monk's alchemy method. Yun Yongzhu read the introductions of the 3 sets of alchemy techniques, and was not very satisfied with them. These 3 sets of alchemy methods are undoubtedly very precious, but they are not applicable to him. The star power of the great starlight alchemy is not easy to borrow. It is unknown when he will be able to borrow the starlight power. The inscription alchemy is very powerful, but Yun Yongzhu knows nothing about inscriptions. This alchemy method was invented by an inscription master, and only inscription masters can learn a little. Not to mention the water alchemy, he does not have a water spirit root. He walked up a few more steps and finally saw a set of alchemy formulas that he liked very much, which was also applicable to him. The 9-turn alchemy art was researched by the ancient alchemy master, based on the ancient cultivation method 9-turn golden body art. Its essence is to crush the pill into powder. After it is formed, refine and quench it again, and then condense the pill again. This pill is the 2nd turn pill. In order, it can be refined and quenched repeatedly 9 times to obtain the 9-turn pill. After the pill has gone through the 2nd turn, the purity will increase, the efficacy will be stronger, and a pattern will appear on the pill. Therefore, the more times the pill is crushed, refined, and quenched, the higher the quality of the pill will be, the stronger the efficacy will be, and the more pill patterns will appear. But, the 9-turn alchemy art has very high requirements for the alchemist's cultivation and spiritual consciousness, especially the spiritual consciousness, which must be far superior to the cultivators of the same level. Otherwise this alchemy art is tantamount to chicken ribs, useless to learn, and a pity to abandon. Yun Yongzhu liked it more and more. Although this set of alchemy methods was very demanding on the alchemist, he couldn't help but be moved. He did not reach out to take the set of alchemy techniques, but searched for about an incense stick of time, but did not find any more amazing targets. Yun Yongzhu stood in front of the light ball of 9-turn alchemy technique hesitantly. His spiritual awareness was indeed far superior to his peers, but he was not sure whether it could meet the requirements of this set of alchemy techniques. Moreover, his cultivation was not high, and his spiritual power was not deeper than other inner disciples. He was afraid that his cultivation was not enough. Yun Yongzhu thought again and again, and decided to choose this set of alchemy techniques. After all, there was a giant and stage real person standing behind him, and he must have a way. After making up his mind, Yun Yongzhu reached into the light curtain wrapped in the jade slip of 9-turn alchemy technique. The circular light curtain disappeared the moment Yun Yongzhu touched it, and the introduction subtitles inside turned into ashes, and the jade slip smoothly fell into the palm of Yun Yongzhu's hand. With this, alchemy becomes even more powerful. Chapter 134 Leaving the Alchemy Hall Treasure House. Yun Yongzhu looked at the green jade slip in his hand, and jumped for joy. With the help of this set of 9-turn alchemy art, his alchemy skills will definitely reach a higher level, and he will be able to earn more and faster sect points. In fact, the foundation building has always been a great pressure on him. He has inquired about the approximate price of the foundation building pill, which should require 30,000 sect points. However, he has been in Qingshan sect for 12 years, and has only saved 3,038 points in total. These points were earned after he was able to refine the key gathering pill, which was about 9 years ago. In total, he could only earn 330 points a year. After some experience and the experience of pill enlightenment, his alchemy skills have greatly improved. Before the age of 60, he can earn the sect points required for a foundation building pill. However, there is no fixed time for the appearance of the foundation building pill. If it appears in the next few years, all his ideas will be in vain. According to his original plan, he intended to stand out in the alchemy competition, and then frantically accept alchemy tasks to earn points, improve his popularity and value in the sect, and then operate calmly after there is news about the foundation building pill. If he could worship a master uncle in the foundation building period as his teacher after the competition, his success rate in building the foundation would be greatly increased. He never expected that he would worship a giant and Zenran in the end, and now his foundation building would be a sure thing. Because on the way to Danlian Peak, The master had already told him that he would definitely have a share of the foundation building pill. However, despite the support of the master, Yun Yongzhu still wanted to improve his alchemy skills and earn more points. This would also allow the master to spend less money when buying the foundation building pill, and the master would look up to him. Moreover, improving the alchemy skills is also crucial for his future practice. Even if he has not experienced it personally, he can think that, after building the foundation, more resources will be consumed. Yun Yongzhu carefully put the jade slip of 9-turn alchemy art into the storage bag, and then looked at the treasures in this space, thinking that he should go out. It didn't take long for this thought to come out, and Yun Yongzhu felt that he was already outside in a blink of an eye. Xiaojiu, have you chosen the treasure? Ever since Huang Changsheng knew that he was the ninth among his peers in the family, he began to call him Xiaojiu. Yun Yongzhu was still thinking about the rare treasures in the treasure house. He suddenly left the pagoda and was still a little unresponsive. Xiaojiu. Oh, master, I have chosen it. Well, that's good. Let's go and change your identity jade card here at Danlian Peak. Oh, okay, master. Yun Yongzhu performed the cloud soaring technique and followed Huang Changsheng's flying figure. Huang Changsheng did not ask Yun Yongzhu what treasure he had chosen specifically. After all, it was Yun Yongzhu's private matter. People who practice cultivation are very taboo about others asking about their skills and treasures, even if they are brothers from the same sect. However, the relationship between master and apprentice is the closest relationship in the world of cultivation, especially in the sect power. The master-apprentice relationship is far closer and more reliable than the father-son relationship. However, because the two had just become master and apprentice and their feelings had not yet been established, Huang Changsheng did not ask too much. But Yun Yongzhu was still waiting for his master to solve the problem for him. He took the initiative to tell Huang Changsheng about the 9-turn alchemy art he had chosen. The 9-turn alchemy art. Why did you choose this alchemy art? Even your master, I don't dare to learn this alchemy art. Yun Yongzhu knew that his master knew something about the alchemy art he had chosen. Master, my disciple's soul is naturally strong, and his consciousness is far superior to that of his peers. I chose this alchemy art with a fluke. Please help me, master. Xiaojiu, you are really a fool. If your master can't help you, you will have gone to the treasure house of the alchemy hall in vain. From Huang Changsheng's tone, his cultivation should not be a big problem, and he should be able to practice the 9-turn alchemy art. Yun Yongzhu couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. He was just taking a small gamble. It makes sense. If this kind of problem can stump him, a little cultivator in the key training stage, how can it stump a real person in the golden core stage? Yun Yongzhu followed Huang Changsheng with a smile. I'm not stupid. My master is a great man in the golden core stage. You've been very thoughtful. Since your soul is naturally strong, even if your cultivation isn't sufficient, you will naturally have no problem building your foundation in the future. What does this mean? Is this alchemy technique not useful to me right now? Huang Changsheng looked at the anxiety and confusion that flashed across the face of his new disciple and continued with a smile. Since the 9 transformation alchemy art appeared in the treasure house of the alchemy hall, it proves that it is not a simple alchemy technique. Although the master is not clear about the specific content of this set of alchemy techniques, its introduction specifically notes that it has very high requirements for the alchemist's cultivation and spiritual awareness. Maybe with your current cultivation, you can only refine 2nd transformation and 3rd transformation pills. Don't worry, the master will naturally help you. You can only rely on yourself for your cultivation. What I can do is to find a way to increase the spiritual power reserves in your body. Whether the spiritual power is profound or not is related to the realm of cultivation, to Danshan, and to the practice method. Tell me about the practice method you are practicing first. I'll see whether to solve it with elixirs or practice methods, or to open up a few more small Danshans. Shushu is healthier. Chapter 135 Blood Soul Lamp. Huang Changsheng asked Yun Yongzhu about his cultivation method while taking him to the main hall of Danlian Peak, thinking about how to enhance the purity of his little disciple's spiritual power. Soon, the two arrived at the magnificent main hall on the top of Danlian Peak. Huang Changsheng released his spiritual power fluctuations without hesitation, and all the cultivators in the main hall bowed to him, and respectfully made way for the two. The deacon in the main hall also discovered the arrival of the Jiandan period uncle, and he walked respectfully to Huang Changsheng. Uncle Huang, do you have any instructions? Huang Kike, it's you, kid. I'm here for nothing. I just accepted a direct disciple today. Please handle the formalities for him. I see. Congratulations to Uncle Huang for finding another good disciple. Huang Kike looked a little surprised and looked at Yun Yongzhu, who was only at the 8th level of key training. Uncle Huang, and this junior brother, please follow me. The two followed him into the side hall of the main hall. Uncle Huang, please wait here. I'll go get the blood soul lamp and the heart stone. Yun Yongzhu knew the heart stone and had used it during the alchemy competition. But what was this blood soul lamp? Master, what is this blood soul lamp? The blood soul lamp is a magical instrument related to the blood oath. The sect uses it to prevent the disciples from betraying, and it can also reflect the life and death status of the disciples at any time. And to sign a blood contract, it is necessary to make a blood oath. The blood contract, also known as the blood oath, is a contract signed with the blood essence of the cultivator as the guide, the words as the oath, and the body as the carrier. The blood oath is not like the oath that is casually said when talking, and it has no binding force. After making a blood contract, the content of the oath must not be violated, otherwise it will be sworn. In fact, making a blood oath is enough. Using the blood soul lamp as the carrier of the oath is more to better restrain the disciples. You will understand later. It turned out that this blood soul lamp was a magic weapon used by the Kingshan sect to restrain the disciples, to prevent the disciples from spreading the precious skills and magical powers of the sect, or leaking the secrets of the sect. Once the blood contract is signed with the blood soul lamp, if the disciple is killed unexpectedly when walking outside, the blood soul lamp can use the remaining breath in the magic weapon to find the place where he was killed, and then find the murderer, so it also has a deterrent effect on others. However, because the blood soul lamp is relatively precious, and there are tens of thousands of disciples in the sect, only the direct disciples and disciples with foundation building and above are qualified to leave the blood oath mark on the blood soul lamp and sign the contract. Master, how should this blood oath be made? Don't worry, the oath is not strict, as long as it does not harm the interests of the sect. All foundation building cultivators and direct disciples have signed blood contracts and sworn blood oaths, and I'm no exception. The specific content of the oath will be guided by Huang Kike later. Yun Yongzhu thought, I don't know if teaching the art of alchemy to my family is considered to be damaging the interests of the sect. Thinking about it, he asked, Master, if I teach the alchemy technique to my family, will it be considered as damaging the interests of the sect? No, you can teach the alchemy technique to your family members, but you cannot teach precious recipes, spells, techniques, etc. For example, the 9-turn alchemy technique you just got can only be taught to your apprentice in the future. If you teach it to anyone else, it will be regarded as leaking the sect's secrets by the sect's law enforcement hall. You said before that Yunwu Mountain is an affiliated foundation building family of the sect. As long as you pay tribute every year, no one will pursue your fault, even if you teach some ordinary spells, recipes, etc. Do you understand? Yun Yongzhu understood what Huang Changsheng meant. In fact, Yunwu Mountain has not paid tribute to Kingshan sect for 20 to 30 years due to financial constraints. It was just because the city lord assigned to Yunzhou only had the cultivation level of key training. Yunzhou was a remote state, and only Yunwu Mountain was an affiliated family of Kingshan sect, with not many tributes, and had a relationship with Nangang Zenran and the sect, so no one in the sect stepped forward to investigate this matter. It seems that I have to mention this matter to my 25th great uncle when he comes to the sect next time. Moreover, if you don't know what will backfire, you can think about it in your mind before doing it. The power of the law of the signed blood contract will naturally give a warning. That's good. Yun Yongzhu relaxed, so that he didn't have to be trembling when doing things. Soon, the foundation building deacon came out with 2 magic weapons. Junior brother Yun, come, put your hand on this heart searching stone and follow me. Uncle Wang, you should call me nephew. The disciples who became Jiandan Zenran became so attentive. He hasn't even built his foundation yet, but he is called junior brother. Yun Yongzhu doesn't have the nerve to do that. He looked at Huang Changsheng, maybe because his master was beside him. Yun Yongzhu had used this heart searching stone before refining the elixir, and he put his hand on it skillfully. I joined Qingshan sect just to practice, and I have absolutely no other second thoughts. I joined Qingshan sect just to practice, and I have absolutely no other second thoughts. After saying this, Wang Kike saw that the white light of the heart searching stone was not unusual, and he put the heart searching stone away with satisfaction. Then he solemnly took out a dark lamp. Yun Yongzhu looked at it curiously. The lamp looked quite new, so why was there no lamp oil in it? Junior brother Yun, please swear a blood oath with your essence and blood, and then drip the oath blood into the wick of this blood soul lamp. Okay. Although Yun Yongzhu had never sworn a blood oath, he already knew the general operation method from his master Huang Changsheng. He forced a drop of blood from his left ring finger and held it up with his spiritual power. Wang Kike saw this and immediately said, I, Yun Yongzhu, swear with my own blood that I will be loyal to the sect in this life, abide by the sect's rules, and not do anything that will harm the interests of the sect. If I violate this oath, my blood will be reversed, and my meridians will burst, and I will die. Yun Yongzhu quickly repeated it. As soon as he finished his oath, the blood in his palm instantly turned golden, and emitted a burst of golden light. Quick! Yun Yongzhu followed Wang Kike's instructions, and poured the blood suspended in his palm into the wick of the blood soul lamp. The dark lamp immediately lit up, like an ordinary oil lamp. Yun Yongzhu looked at the ordinary oil lamp, and felt a chill in his heart. His blood was in this lamp. If it was taken away by someone who did not follow the rules, his safety would be a big problem. You know, there are countless magical powers and secrets in the cultivation world. There must be people who can use human blood, hair and other things to perform harming techniques. Wang Kike carefully put the blood soul lamp aside, and then said, okay, nephew Yun, I will send this blood soul lamp to the ancestral hall later, and then change your ID card. Yun Yongzhu felt relieved after hearing this. He knew that the ancestral hall was a place where the founder of Qingshan sect and the Yuanying ancestors and heads of all generations were enshrined. It was an important place for the sect, and disciples were usually strictly prohibited from entering. It was said that there were special guards. While thinking about the ancestral hall, he cleverly took out his original emerald jade card and handed it to Wang Kike. Wang Kike took Yun Yongzhu's ID card and checked the points, and then wrote down the points on a purple jade card. He didn't show any expression on his face, but he was secretly amazed in his heart. He didn't expect that a disciple in the key training stage had accumulated so many points. Junior brother Yun, here, this is the identity card of the direct disciple and the annual allowance. This annual allowance can be collected every year in the mission hall or the general affairs hall of the major spiritual peaks with the identity card. Uncle Huang, I have completed the formalities. Do you have any other instructions? No, I will take my disciple away now. Farewell, Uncle Huang. Yun Yongzhu came out of the hall and immediately said to Huang Changsheng, Master, is the annual allowance of the direct disciple as much as 1,200 spirit stones? This annual allowance is 10 times his original amount, and when he was an inner disciple, he had to complete several tasks to get an annual allowance of 120 spirit stones. After he entered the sect and learned that the inner disciples' caves had attached spirit fields and a monthly allowance of 120 spirit stones every year, he already felt that Qingshan sect was worthy of being a large sect, and that the resources it possessed were indeed rich. Now that he knew the annual allowance of the direct disciples, he realized a truth. The richness of the resources possessed by Qingshan sect was beyond his imagination. It is no wonder that countless casual cultivators in the world of immortal cultivation flock to Qingshan sect. The reason why they yearn for the sect so much is, of course, to obtain rich cultivation resources and generous treatment. Look at your useless appearance. What is 1,200 spirit stones? After you build your foundation, the annual allowance will be 6,000. However, only the direct disciples of giant and cultivators can get this treatment. The direct disciples of foundation building cultivators do not have such a high annual allowance. Yun Yongzhu only now realized that the treatment of being a direct disciple of Jiandan is really too good. not to mention the cave on the second level upper grade spiritual vein, just the 1200 spirit stones. If he earns them by himself, he will have to refine pills for several months. Yun Yongzhu happily patted the bulging storage bag. Now he can concentrate on earning sect points. Disciple notes, this is all thanks to you, Master. That's good to know. Let's go back to Piomio Peak. I have almost figured out the matter of your spiritual power just now, and we will start after you settle down. Oh, by the way, you also have Master's wife, a senior sister and 2 senior brothers. They have all established their foundation. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 136 Formal Apprenticeship. Yun Yongzhu listened to Huang Changsheng introducing his wife and the other 3 disciples, and was surprised to find that he was the only alchemist. Master, why aren't the brothers and sisters alchemists? Yun Yongzhu wanted to ask why Huang Changsheng didn't accept alchemists as his first few disciples. Do you think it's so easy to find a disciple with alchemy talent? If it weren't for your amazing alchemy talent, I wouldn't have thought of taking in another disciple. The road of cultivation is long and endless. I don't even have enough time to cultivate myself, so how can I have the energy to teach so many disciples? Although the 3 of them can't make alchemy, their cultivation aptitude is not bad. If you encounter any problems in cultivation, you can also ask them for advice. Currently, only your 3rd sister, your mistress and I live on Piomio Peak. Your 2 brothers have moved to Kizu Peak next to Piomio Peak. When we arrive, I guess they are all waiting. I specially sent them a sound transmission talisman to ask you to meet and get to know each other. Yun Yongzhu didn't know what was going on when he heard this. He was a little nervous. These were all brothers and sisters in the foundation building period. He suddenly remembered that there was still property left in Yuntai Peak, and there was also Wang Yiming. Master, I still have some spiritual fruit trees in Yuntai Peak. Don't worry, they won't arrange the yard right away. You can transplant them after you settle down here. Yun Yongzhu breathed a sigh of relief. The rest was fine. The seeds of the 5-element spiritual fruit tree cost him 100 sect points, and it has been cultivated for more than 8 years. Adding the cost of the other 50 spiritual fruit trees, the total number is more than 3,200. Piomio Peak is not far from Danlian Peak. Huang Changsheng and Yun Yongzhu arrived in just a quarter of an hour. As soon as Yun Yongzhu entered the range of Piomio Peak, he was surrounded by rich spiritual energy. He took a deep breath as if enjoying it. Master, the spiritual energy of Piomio Peak is indeed abundant. If I practice here, I will be able to advance to the 9th level of key training in just 5 years. There is a 3rd level middle grade spiritual vein on this spiritual peak of yours, so the spiritual energy is naturally abundant. Let's go and meet your master's wife first. You will live here in the future, and you will have plenty of time to practice well. Soon the 2 of them landed outside a small courtyard that covers a large area. As soon as they entered, Yun Yongzhu heard several voices. Greetings, Master. Brother Sheng, you are back. Is this your new disciple? He is so handsome. Wana, what are you talking about? Xiaojiu, this is your master's wife Guwana. Guwana was wearing a light purple tight-fitting robe, with half of her hair combed into a flowing cloud bun, and only a jade tassel hairpin inserted diagonally. She looked well maintained, only in her 20s, but from her eyes, it can be seen that she has experienced the years. Although her name was Guana, Yun Yongzhu's first impression of this master's wife was that she was a strong woman, and she should be a straightforward person. Junior Yun Yongzhu pays respects to the master's wife. Get up quickly, there is no need to perform such a big ceremony. Then Huang Changsheng introduced him to his eldest senior brother Zhao Yang, second senior brother Hanlin, and third senior sister Emo Lina. Yun Yongzhu greeted them one by one. This is the disciple I accepted today at the alchemy competition. His name is Yun Yongzhu. Don't look at him as he is only at the 8th level of key training. He is the champion of this alchemy competition and his alchemy skills are very good. We know all this. We have heard you say it in the sound transmission note. Brother Sheng, do you want to hold a ceremony for accepting disciples? Forget it. I'm not a flamboyant person. Liner and the others did not hold a ceremony. It will be enough for us close friends to get together and meet. Xiaojiu, what do you think? I don't like to be flamboyant either, but it's up to Master and Master's wife. Master's wife, please sit down. Looking at the two people sitting on the stone bench in the yard, Yun Yongzhu took out the best mist hidden tea he had and brewed it quickly. After a while, he had brewed the spiritual tea. Yun Yongzhu quickly handed 2 cups of mist hidden tea to Huang Chengsheng and Guana respectively. Master's wife, please have some tea. After the two took the teacups, Yun Yongzhu immediately knelt on the ground and performed the ceremony of paying respect to the master. This was considered a formal ceremony of paying respect to the master and offering tea. The two drank the tea Yun Yongzhu offered with a smile on their faces. Although the disciple taking ceremony is waived, this welcome gift is indispensable. This is a spiritual medicine I found in the warehouse before you came back. I give it to you. Yun Yongzhu respectfully took the welcome gift handed to him by Guana with both hands. Just as he put it away, several more jade boxes were handed over. Junior brother, it's good that you are here. I'm no longer the youngest. Senior sister heard that you are an alchemist, so she also prepared a spiritual herb for you. Junior brother, this is a red fruit. I hope you can use it. Junior brother, I also prepared a spiritual medicine for you. Everyone unanimously prepared spiritual medicine for Yun Yongzhu. It seems that as Guana said, they all received the news that he was an alchemist. Yun Yongzhu was simply overwhelmed with gifts. These were all spiritual medicines of great value. He hurriedly thanked them one by one. We've finished the apprenticeship tea. Let's all go. We also need to make arrangements for Xiaojiu. Zhao Yang, Hanlin and Mo Lion are all left. Wana, you come and arrange a place for Xiaojiu to live. Brother Sheng, why do you always call Zhou Xiaojiu? Oh, he is the 9th in the family, and everyone in the family calls him Xiaojiu. I see. Okay, I see. I'll make arrangements for Xiaojiu. Gulana called Yun Yongzhu over to sit down. Xiaojiu, don't be restrained. Sit down quickly. You can live here for the next few days. I have asked someone to clean up the west courtyard. Then she told him in detail the location of the 2 second-level spiritual veins on Piomio Peak. Tell your master and his wife where you want to live. There are 2 or 3 caves on each of the 2 spiritual veins that have been vacant for many years. There are 2 caves on the 2nd-level superior spiritual vein that Huang Chengsheng mentioned before. One is at a location of 2,000 feet on the mountainside, and the other is at a location of 2,400 feet. Yun Yongzhu wanted to be closer to his master for easy travel. So he said, Master's wife, I want to live closer to here. Okay, I know what you mean. What kind of cave do you like? A simple one? Or one with a small garden or spiritual medicine garden? Big or small? Yun Yongzhu was really overwhelmed and a little flattered. Even if this cave has a framework, it would cost a lot to decorate it. Master's wife, just build it for me. As long as there are necessary buildings such as bedrooms, practice rooms, alchemy rooms, kitchens, and toilets, it will be fine. Oh, by the way, Master's wife, I still have dozens of spiritual fruit trees to transplant. Just leave me a piece of open space. Okay, you mean as long as it can be lived in, right? Yun Yongzhu nodded vigorously. He didn't have high requirements for his residence. Anyway, it didn't affect his practice. But he thought of Wang Yiming again. Without him, who would help him take care of so many spiritual fruit trees? Seeing the hesitation on Yun Yongzhu's face, Guana said, just say whatever you want to say. Since you have officially offered tea and become my disciple, we are a family. Master's wife, this is the case. I have been hiring an outer disciple to take care of my spiritual fruit trees. When I transplant them all here, can I ask him to come to Piomio Peak and help me continue to take care of the spiritual plants? This outer disciple is the spiritual plant husband I hired after I entered the sect. After all, he is more familiar with these fruit trees. I don't think it's a big deal. You can continue to hire him and bring him to your cave. It's just that he has some restrictions on entering and leaving, and can only enter and leave Piomio Peak at specified times. Xiaojiu, the spiritual fields and lands on my Piomio peak are all taken care of by menial disciples and outer disciples. Don't worry, as long as he knows that you have worshipped Jinden Zenran as your master, even if you don't mention it, he will express his desire to follow you. Then you just need to go with the flow. A few typos were corrected without affecting the reading experience. Chapter 137 Wang Yiming. Guana understood Yun Yongzhu's idea, so she called the servant and told him to take Yun Yongzhu to the cleaned up west courtyard she mentioned. Master's wife, then Xiaojiu will take his leave. Go ahead. You must be very tired after participating in the alchemy competition today. Have a good rest for a few days. Wait for master's wife to repair your cave, and then you can go to Yuntai Peak to transplant the spiritual fruit tree. I will leave a large open space for you. Songpeng has been following Jinden Zenran Huang Chengsheng since he was 20 years old. Now, nearly 50 years have passed, and he is already 70 years old. In these 50 years, he has never seen Huang Chengsheng except a disciple. When he heard Guana say that this young man was the master's new disciple, he was surprised. Songpeng took Yun Yongzhu through the round arch on the west side of the courtyard and walked along a path for about 40 feet and saw a small courtyard. The decorations in the courtyard were very delicate, all carved from spiritual wood. Young master, do you want dinner? Yun Yongzhu thought about the whole day and ate a piece of spiritual cake early in the morning. He nodded to indicate that he wanted to have dinner. Uncle Song, thank you for your help. Songpeng was the chief steward in the master's cave, and he had the foundation building cultivation. Yun Yongzhu called him uncle. Fourth young master, you are the master's direct disciple, so you dare not say whether it is troublesome or not. This is what I, the steward, should do. Please wait a moment, I will have someone serve dinner. Songpeng came back not long after he left, followed by a series of servants. So soon. This is all prepared by the madam in the morning. As long as you, the fourth young master, want to eat, you can ask the servants to go to the kitchen and bring it over at any time. Yun Yongzhu watched the servants put plates of dishes with good color, fragrance, and taste on the table. Yun Yongzhu was surprised by the full table of spiritual food, especially the combination of meat and vegetables. He couldn't help but like this master's wife who he met for the first time even more. Why are there spiritual vegetables in here? Because my wife loves to eat them. The master specially found the seeds of spiritual vegetables and told us to plant them carefully. When did the master and his wife become Taoist couples? It was a long time ago. I was not even born at that time. I heard that. Yun Yongzhu asked the steward about the past of his master and his wife while eating the spiritual meal. This spiritual meal was the most advanced and satisfying meal he had ever eaten in his life. It not only had first grade high quality spiritual rice, dishes made from second grade spiritual beast meat, spiritual fruits after the meal, but also the spiritual vegetables he had been thinking about day and night. Yun Yongzhu was eating his dinner leisurely, but Wang Yiming was surprised and happy. Cousin, is what you said true? Isn't senior brother Yun only at the key training level? How could he have caught the eye of Jinden Zenran? Of course it's true. Now that Master Zhu has won the first place in the alchemy competition and has become a disciple of Jinden Zenran, the news has spread throughout the sect. I just know that you didn't go to watch the alchemy competition, so I came to tell you about it. It turned out that Wang Yiming felt the opportunity to advance to the 6th level of key training on the day when Yun Yongzhu went to participate in the alchemy competition. In order not to miss the opportunity to advance, he did not go to watch the alchemy competition. Then cousin, do you know where senior brother Yun went after the competition? Then I don't know. I only know that Master Zhu was taken away by that Jinden Zenran. Cousin, you must hold on to Master Zhu's thigh. Even if cousin didn't mention it, I know that senior brother Yun is the hope of our Wang family to have a foundation building master. I will definitely continue to follow senior brother Yun. In the 12 years that Wang Yiming has followed Yun Yongzhu, he has practiced from the 4th level of key training to the 6th level of key training. You know, he has the qualifications of 5 spiritual roots. Without the help of Yun Yongzhu, it would take at least more than 20 years to be able to advance 2 levels in a row. Not only did his cultivation level increase, but following Yun Yongzhu, he also met many inner disciples and made many connections. Cousin, thank you for telling me this news. You go back first. I have to go back to Yunju and wait for senior brother Yun to come back. As soon as Wang Yiming advanced to the 6th level of key training, he was called out by his cousin and then told him this great news. He couldn't believe the news when he first heard it. After confirming it with his cousin again and again, he finally confirmed the authenticity of the news. He was surprised and happy. Although it was not Wang Yiming himself who was accepted as a disciple of Jinden Zenren, as long as he kept following Yun Yongzhu, he would definitely benefit a lot. At this time, he just wanted to go back to Yunju to consolidate his cultivation and wait for Yun Yongzhu to come back. Wang Yiming only meditated for 4 hours to consolidate his cultivation, and then he couldn't sit still. He had nothing to do, so he had to take care of the spiritual fruit tree in the yard over and over again. Time passed in his somewhat anxious mood for 5 days. During these 5 days, many fellow disciples that Yun Yongzhu knew came to Yunju to find him, but there was no news of him. On this day, Wang Yiming was performing the spirit rain technique on the water spiritual fruit tree and suddenly heard the voice he had been wanting to hear for the past few days. Junior brother Wang, I'm back. Junior brother Yun, you're finally back. I thought you didn't want these spiritual fruit trees and this 5-element spiritual fruit tree. How could that be? I got this 5-element spiritual fruit tree with great difficulty. I knew you couldn't bear to part with them. I've taken good care of them during this period. Are you coming back to take them away this time? Yes, I've brought all the manpower. Yun Yongzhu borrowed a few spiritual planters from his master Huang Chengsheng, and more than a dozen people came with him to transplant these spiritual fruit trees. Wang Yiming didn't hesitate much and walked straight to Yun Yongzhu and knelt down. Yun Yongzhu hurriedly tried to help him up. What are you doing? Get up. If you have anything to say, please tell me slowly. Brother Yun, although we are both disciples of Qingshan sect, I'm an outer disciple and you are an inner disciple. Our status is very different. But you don't look down on me. You allow me to live in your cave and give me elixirs for cultivation. A few days ago, I heard that you were accepted as a disciple of Jinden Zenren. I was happy and worried. I'm happy that you can worship a Jinden master, but I'm worried that I will have nowhere to go in the future. Brother Yun, I want to go with you. I can help you continue to take care of these spiritual plants. Yun Yongzhu helped Wang Yiming up forcefully. Since entering Qingshan sect, he has hired Wang Yiming. The two have lived together for so many years, and Wang Yiming has never knelt before him. We have lived together for so many years. Don't you know what kind of personality I have? I don't like you kneeling to me. I came back this time, firstly for these spiritual fruit trees, and secondly for you. How could I forget you, Wang Yiming? Speaking of which, Yun Yongzhu has had Wang Yiming as his spiritual plant husband for these years, and he has never worried about the spiritual farm. He only needs to have a large amount of spiritual stone income every once in a while. Wang Yiming was immediately happy when he heard Yun Yongzhu say this. Of course, he knew what kind of personality Yun Yongzhu had, but he was still worried that without the work of senior brother Yun, his own cultivation resources would not be guaranteed. Chapter 138, Transplantation. Brother Yun, thank you. Okay, stop being sentimental here and get down to business. I want to transplant all the spiritual fruit trees to my new cave. This is a big project. Brother Yun, your new cave? Which spiritual peak is it? Biomeo Peak. Biomeo Peak. It turns out that Brother Yun really became a disciple of Master Huang. Congratulations, Brother Huang. There are only so many Jinden masters in the sect, and each of them is well remembered. In addition, Huang Chengsheng is also a 3rd level alchemist, and his reputation has spread throughout the sect. I'm also lucky. Brother Wang, don't delay any longer. Take them to dig out all the spiritual fruit trees in the yard. Be careful. Brother Yun, don't worry, I will be very careful. Then Wang Yiming immediately called the 5 spiritual plant husbands in the late stage of key training brought by Yun Yongzhu. After a few exchanges, they soon made arrangements. the 6 spiritual plant husbands, each with 2 or 3 outer sectarian disciples, each selected a spiritual fruit tree and began to act. Transplanting spiritual fruit trees is simple to say, but what is not simple is how to ensure the survival rate of spiritual fruit trees after transplantation. Before coming here, Yun Yongzhu had consulted several spiritual plant husbands and learned the general details of transplantation. Although he is not a professional, this is related to his vital interests, so he is naturally a little worried. So he walked around and watched their movements. After an incense stick, he saw that these people's movements were always cautious and the spiritual plant husbands were arranged in an orderly manner. He walked to the side and sat down with confidence, took out the intermediate spiritual plant illustrations one given by his master and read it slowly. There are a total of 51 spiritual fruit trees in Yun Yongzhu, and they are all 8-year-old spiritual fruit trees. The 5-element spiritual fruit tree has only grown less than 3 feet in more than 8 years. These spiritual fruit trees have more or less roots and larger or smaller distribution areas according to the height of the tree, the grade of the tree, the growth habits, etc. 6 spiritual planters led more than a dozen people to work for more than 3 hours before digging out the 12 low-grade spiritual peach trees and putting them into the large storage jade box that Yun Yongzhu borrowed from his master's wife Guwana. Yun Yongzhu looked at the sky. It was almost evening and the sun would set in about an hour. Although the night had little effect on the transplantation of spiritual fruit trees, it still had some effect. Yun Yongzhu called a halt, thought for a moment, and asked everyone to start digging the precious 3rd level 5-element spiritual fruit tree. He also put away the classics and supervised nearby. You all have to be careful, this is a high-level spiritual plant. Yun Yongzhu did not give random instructions, but just told them to be careful. Don't worry, senior brother Yun, I will pay attention. Hey, stop, I'm talking to you. Change tools, use the small jade shovel from here down. The other 5 spiritual planters were also cautious. Even if Yun Yongzhu didn't remind them, these people recognized that this was a 5-element spiritual fruit tree, and they all knew how precious it was. It took more than 20 people an hour to deal with the 5-element spiritual fruit tree. Yun Yongzhu was very satisfied when he saw that only a few leaves had fallen from the small tree and the roots were intact. He carefully put away the precious spiritual plant and said, "Put away all your things, we will return to Piomio Peak immediately." Then Yun Yongzhu pulled out a silver bell from his collar and shook it gently. After a while, a huge black rock appeared in the sky above Yuntai Peak. It covered the entire Loan residence. You can imagine how big it is. Senior Yu, let's go back to Piomio Peak. This is the pet rock of Master Huang Chengsheng, named Wu Yu, a 3rd level upper grade spiritual beast with high intelligence. Piomio Peak is a bit far from Yuntai Peak. With Yun Yongzhu's speed, it will take a full 4 hours to go back and forth. Huang Chengsheng specially sent it out to help Yun Yongzhu transplant the spiritual fruit tree. Wu Yu chirped, as if urging Yun Yongzhu. Yun Yongzhu took out a large wooden basket from his storage bag. Junior brother Wang, several senior brothers and sisters, please go in quickly. After the 6 people entered the wooden basket, Yun Yongzhu flew onto Wu Yu's back. Senior Wu, take them with you, let's go back. Wu Yu is a rock, and his temperament is very arrogant. He will not let human monks get on his back at will. Yun Yongzhu certainly didn't know this, but his master reminded him, so he made this large wooden basket that can hold more than 20 people. If Yun Yongzhu was not Huang Chengsheng's direct disciple, and if he had not been served by Yun Yongzhu comfortably in the past few days, Wu Yu would not have paid any attention to Yun Yongzhu, let alone let Yun Yongzhu get on his back. Wu Yu swooped down with Yun Yongzhu, stretched out a pair of iron claws, grabbed the handle of the wooden basket, and then took a group of people to fly towards Piomio Peak. In just half an incense stick of time, Piomio Peak was in sight. Wang Yiming was standing in the wooden basket at this time, staring at the towering spiritual peak getting closer and closer. It must be 4,000 feet high. Your eyesight is not bad. Master Huang's Piomio Peak is 4,100 feet high, and it is a spiritual peak with a 3rd level medium grade spiritual vein. And it is still growing, and sooner or later it will become a spiritual peak with a 3rd level upper grade spiritual vein. This is one of the spiritual plant husbands brought by Yun Yongzhu. His tone is boastful, as if this is his territory. This senior brother, where is senior brother Yun's cave? Master Huang loves Master Zhu very much, and gave him a cave on a second level upper grade spiritual vein. It was Madame Huang who rebuilt, and repaired it herself. Now Master Zhu's cave has been repaired. In just a few words, Wu Yu had brought them to the mountainside at Piomio Peak, which was in front of Yun Yongzhu's beautiful new cave. After it put down the bamboo basket and Yun Yongzhu, it happily flew away to who knows where. Brother Yun, the spiritual energy here is so rich. Is this your new cave? So grand. Wang Yiming's performance was even worse than Yun Yongzhu's, like a country bumpkin who had never seen the world. Yun Yongzhu looked at the 20 people behind him, then looked at Wang Yiming, feeling a little embarrassed. Well, this is my new cave, Loyan Hall. Let's go in and plant the spiritual fruit trees quickly. Yun Yongzhu was already familiar with his new residence. He led a group of people along the main road into the backyard. A large open space came into view. There were already holes dug in the open space. Quick, plant the 5-element spiritual fruit trees first. Before they could take action, a surprised female voice came from outside. Zhujiu, you also planted a 3rd level top grade 5-element spiritual fruit tree. Master's wife, you are here. Yes, I have cultivated this 5-element spiritual fruit tree for 8 years. Greetings to Uncle Gu. Greetings to Uncle Gu. When the group saw Guana, they bowed and saluted. Uncle Gu. Wang Yiming was a beat slower than the others, and followed everyone else to pay respect to Guana. According to the rules of the sect, no matter whether they are from the inner or outer sects, those with lower cultivation must call those with higher cultivation as senior brothers and sisters. If they are one major realm higher, they should call each other uncles, regardless of gender. I saw Wu Yu coming back, so I guessed that you were also back, so I came to see you. Fortunately, I came, otherwise you would have killed this precious 3rd level spiritual plant. After Guana's explanation, Yun Yongzhu realized that spiritual plants such as the 5-element spiritual fruit tree need to be sprinkled with rooting water once they are moved, otherwise the survival rate is very low. These spiritual plant husbands are ordinary low-level cultivators, and they have no experience in planting high-level spiritual plants. They can only transplant them using the method of ordinary spiritual fruit trees. Master's wife, fortunately you are here. Yun Yongzhu breathed a sigh of relief after hearing this, and almost. It's okay, you guys. Plant all the spiritual fruit trees quickly. I'll spread the rooting water later. Master's wife, what is rooting water? Rooting water is water with rich spiritual power and vitality. Generally, more than 1,000 kilograms of spiritual rainwater can condense a drop of 2nd level low-grade rooting water. For example, the water gushing out of the vitality spring is also rooting water, but your 5-element spiritual fruit tree needs at least 2nd level vitality spring water. Soon the group replanted the 5-element spiritual fruit trees and the 12 spiritual peach trees. Guana took out a small jade bottle, and then took out a small jade bowl, and poured half a bowl into it. This is the 2nd level lower grade rooting water that Brother Sheng condensed with spiritual rain water. Just sprinkle it around the tree. Fortunately, it is still small now, so only a little bit is enough. In fact, spiritual water diluted with spiritual milk is also rooting water, but unfortunately this spiritual milk is too precious. After rooting the 5-element spiritual fruit tree, Yun Yongzhu instructed Wang Yiming and others to transplant a few spiritual fruit trees to this new cave every day starting tomorrow. After 4 busy days, Wang Yiming finally transplanted all his spiritual fruit trees in Yuntai Peak, and also helped him sell the immature spiritual plants and spiritual medicines and the attached spiritual fields of the original cave at half price. Chapter 139. 1 year later. 1 year later, in the Xingchen mansion of Yunwu Mountain in Yunzhou. Brother Chen, it's been more than 3 months since the 25th uncle left, right? Yang Lia didn't make a talisman today. Yun Daichen knew that she was waiting for news from her eldest son. Yes, you said the same thing yesterday. Counting the days, the 25th uncle should be back in the next few days. Well, I've been thinking about this these days. We originally agreed to go there every 3 years. I wonder if my son will be surprised to see the 25th uncle. By the way, what's the situation in Lanzhou? It turned out that when Yun Yongzhu was attacked on his way home from Lanzhou a year ago, many members of the three major families in Lanzhou were killed or injured, and the Yang family in the Blue Ridge Plains lost dozens of cloud-stepping beasts, which was a heavy loss. As for other small families, they suffered heavy casualties. Some small families were unable to continue and could not support their family business and became independent cultivators. The foundation building families were all local emperors in their own states. Lanzhou took hundreds of years to form a team and only suffered two heavy blows in the first 100 years of its establishment. However, the three major families killed all the leaders of the robbery cultivators with thunder and lightning, so that no one dared to touch the large caravan of Lanzhou for hundreds of years. The caravan was hit hard this time. After returning to Lanzhou, the three major families were furious and vowed to find out where this evil cultivator came from. There was also no reason for the three major families to let go of the evil cultivator in the foundation building period who escaped by chance. If the details of this evil cultivator were not found out, the people in the caravan would be in panic, which would inevitably affect the income of the three major families. Because the evil cultivator escaped in the territory close to Yunzhou, the three major families of Lanzhou hoped that the five major families of Yunzhou could help them find the evil cultivator. The three families even collected a large amount of spiritual stones and issued a reward in the three states of Lanzhou, Yunzhou, and Kangzhou. As long as you can provide information about the evil cultivator, there will be a bounty to receive. If you can directly hand over the head or corpse of the evil cultivator, you can get a huge amount of spiritual stones. Money can attract people's attention. The evil cultivator hid for nearly a year and finally came out to heal his wounds. Then, his whereabouts were revealed by someone with ulterior motives and he fell into the hands of the three major families in Lanzhou. I heard that the evil cultivator was captured a month ago. He was killed before the three major families had time to torture him. The waters in Lanzhou are very deep. Who knows if the Tu family and the Tang family jointly invited this group of people to take action. Maybe the loose cultivator alliance is not clean either. It's none of our business. As long as the evil cultivator is caught, it's fine. Because of this incident, the loose cultivators in the nearby states don't dare to go out during this period. I heard that even the income of the family business has dropped a lot. The two were discussing when they received a sound transmission note from the clan leader Yun Yongzhu. Why did the clan leader send you a sound transmission note? I don't know. The clan leader just asked us to go to the ancestral hall. The two of them were puzzled and quickly flew to the outside of the ancestral hall. As soon as they entered, they found that the elders and stewards of the family were waiting in the ancestral hall. Seeing that the clan leader seemed to be waiting for something, Yun Yongzhu couldn't help but be full of doubts. Clan leader, did you call my husband and me to the ancestral hall for any instructions? I didn't call you and your husband here, but Uncle 25th. You saw that there are also important members of the family here. Uncle 25th should have something to announce, which may be related to Xiaojiu. Uncle 25th is back. When did this happen? Uncle 25th has not returned to the family yet. He just said that he will be here soon. Then, Yun Yongzhu was interrupted by a voice coming from outside the ancestral hall. Before he could ask anything else, Changer, are all the people here? It turned out that Yun Yongzhu had returned. Everyone turned their heads and saluted Yun Yongzhu. Yun Yongzhu glanced and saw that everyone was here, so he said excitedly, I brought back good news from King Shinsek this time. More than 10 pairs of eyes were staring at him, waiting for his next words. Yun Yongzhu took a deep breath and did not delay any further. It's Xiaojiu. Xiaojiu has become a disciple of Huang Changsheng, the Golden Core Master of the Qingshan sect, and he is his personal disciple. This news stunned everyone, and they couldn't believe their ears. Uncle 25, are you telling the truth? Xiaojiu really has a Golden Core Master as his teacher? Yes, Uncle 25, are you sure this is true? Not to mention the clan leader Yun Yongzhu. Even Yun Yongzhu couldn't believe that his son really had a Golden Core Master as his teacher. I'm sure, certain. This time I rushed to Qingshan sect and told the deacon disciples of Yink Peak that I was Xiaojiu's relative, and I was immediately warmly received. Xiaojiu has moved to Jinden Zenran's Piomio Peak, and his cave Loan Hall is built on a second level upper grade spiritual vein. Moreover, a year ago, Xiaojiu participated in the alchemy competition as soon as he returned to the sect and won the first place. Now his reputation has spread throughout the Qingshan sect, and he has also been given the nickname of Zhu Gangzi. Everyone was like listening to a legendary story. After Yun Yongzhu finished speaking, they realized that the protagonist of this legendary story was the younger generation of their family. Everyone in the ancestral hall was overjoyed. Yun Yongzhu's incident had a great impact on the family, and they no longer had to be timid when doing things. Brother Chen, it seems that Azua can really advance to the foundation building stage. Great. Then Xiaojiu's foundation building stage is a foregone conclusion. Yes, then the family can fully assist Xiaoba in building his foundation, so that the family can produce 2 foundation building masters. Yun Yongzhu interrupted everyone's excited words and continued, and the senior Huang that Xiaojiu worships is also a 3rd level top grade alchemist. Everyone was surprised again. This was really double happiness. With this 3rd level top grade alchemist as his master, Yun Yongzhu still had to worry about the alchemist's grade not improving. And Yun Yongzhu's alchemy skills improved, and the family would definitely benefit endlessly. Chenna, Lina, you two have given birth to a good son. For this, the family specially rewards you with 300 contribution points. Shicheng, Shifen, what do you think? It should be, they should have been rewarded a long time ago. Yes, even though Xiaojiu entered the sect, he was dedicated to helping the family. This is all due to Chenna and his wife's teaching, and they deserve to be rewarded by the family. All the elders and stewards agreed with this proposal. Yang Liu and his wife were so happy that they couldn't stop smiling. Yun Daichen was even happier when he heard that the family was going to reward contribution points, but he still said something. I'm a member of the Yun family. Xiaojiu is so outstanding because our Yun family has a good seed. Haha. When Yun Daichen said this, everyone laughed. Yang Liu's old face turned red and gently twisted the soft flesh on Yun Daichen's waist. After laughing happily for a while, Yun Yongzhu said, I asked you to come to the ancestral hall, mainly to tell you this news, and also to offer sacrifices to the ancestors. According to Xiaojiu's meaning, after he builds his foundation, he will return to the family to hold a foundation building ceremony, and then take the opportunity to publicize the fact that he worshipped the Jinden Zenran. There is no need to publicize this matter at this time, but there is no need to deliberately conceal it. After all, this matter is known to everyone in Qingshan sect and cannot be concealed. Chenna, this is the elixir that Xiaojiu asked me to bring to you. You can go home after taking it. We will stay to offer sacrifices to our ancestors. After Yun Daichen and the others left, Yun Yongzhu looked serious. When I met Xiaojiu this time, he mentioned the sect's offerings to me. Everyone was shocked, fearing that it was the Qingshan sect that was holding them accountable. Relax, it's not the Qingshan sect that's asking. Have you forgotten? To become a direct disciple of the sect, or advance to the foundation building stage, one must be loyal to the sect. Xiaojiu has sworn a blood oath, so if the family wants to gain some benefits from Xiaojiu, they must pay tribute to the sect. Hearing that it was not the Qingshan sect that was holding them accountable, the elders relaxed a lot, but they still frowned. Zhao Liang came to our place today. I heard that she was filming Chinese restaurant. There were a lot of Ryutas in the circle of friends, but it was a pity that I didn't see her in person. Chapter 140 Zuanshan Secret Realm. Uncle 25th. If the family starts paying tribute, they must pay all the tributes owed previously, otherwise there will be no way to explain it. But now it has been 16 years since we last paid tribute, 6,000 a year, a total of 96,000 spirit stones. If there is a fine, then Yunwushan is a foundation building family directly under the Qingshan sect. Because it is far away, the sect also understands the difficulties of the family, so some remote families are allowed to pay tribute to the sect every 3 to 5 years. And the requirements are not strict. If you have a strong relationship in the sect, no one will pursue it, even if you pay tribute 1 or 2 years late. The Yun family borrowed money to buy foundation building pills 13 years ago, plus the tributes. that were not paid in the previous 3 years, adding up to 16 years of annual tribute owed. What needs to be paid in full must be paid, and this matter should have been put on the agenda. If the sect investigates it someday, we in Yunwu Mountain will be in great trouble. Besides, Xiaojiu is doing well in the sect now, and we must not hold him back. Although Zenran Nangang has a high level of cultivation, he is not a member of our Yun family after all. Xiaojiu is a supporter in the sect in the future. In addition, if the family wants to make a difference in alchemy, they must start with Xiaojiu. In the future, when Xiaojiu advances to the foundation building stage, he will need to rely on the alchemy skills he learned in the sect and obtain the alchemy formula. Yun Shifen was in charge of the family's accounts. He knew that the clan did not have that many spirit stones, and he could not help but smile bitterly. Uncle 25, we all know what you said. But the family just paid off its debts a year ago and distributed monthly allowances to the clan members on time. Although the income from spiritual fruit wine and elixirs has been added, there are only more than 19,000 in savings. There are still a lot of magic tools, spiritual rice and medicine, talisman paper, talismans, and elixirs in stock, but Qingshan sect only recognizes spiritual stones. But even if all of them are exchanged for spiritual stones, how can they be sold all at once? Don't worry too much, this matter is not very urgent to deal with. I brought back a batch of elixirs from Xiaojiu this time. Together with the previous ones, I should be able to earn more than 20,000 or nearly 30,000 spiritual stones after selling them all. He did not confiscate the 1,200 spiritual stones for alchemy fees brought to Xiaojiu this time, and said to remember the contribution points first, and I agreed. Next month is the day when the family caravan sets out for Yunjin Mountain. This time, 12 will lead the team and bring more people and goods. It is conservatively estimated that they can earn 3,000. August next year will be the day when the Yunzhou caravan will go to the main city of Kangzhou. This time I will personally lead the escort team and bring more goods. I earned 5,000 or 6,000 yuan in previous years, and this time I must earn 7,000 or 8,000 yuan. In addition, I will take time to go to Yuzhou next year to sell the Dingyan pills left by Xiaojiu and the remaining 2 Zisu pills. Yuzhou's cultivation civilization is prosperous, and these 3 pills should be exchanged for 6,000 or 7,000 spirit stones. Then, if the annual spiritual stone and spiritual rice are suspended next year, more than 13,000 spirit stones can be saved. Calculated in this way, we should be able to collect about 80,000 spirit stones by the end of next year, plus the income from the shops and mines. It should be enough to pay the tribute. When everyone heard this and calculated carefully, they really could barely collect the annual tribute of spirit stones. They couldn't help but be surprised again and again. When did the family have so much income? It seemed that Yun Yongzhu brought about the change. By the way, Uncle 25, have you reminded Xiaojiu to pay a visit to Master Nangang? I don't need to remind you. Not long after Xiaojiu became Master Huang's disciple, he went to pay a visit to Master Huang at Lingayan Peak. Unfortunately, Master Nangang was in seclusion, so he only met fellow Daoist Nangang Li. Xiaojiu knows how to maintain these relationships. That's good. When he met Xiaojiu this time, he said a lot of his ideas and suggestions for the family. I'll share them with you, and you can adopt them as appropriate. All the elders pricked up their ears and listened attentively. First of all, Xiaojiu believes that the family is now in a period of rapid development, and the most lacking is the population of monks. He suggested that from now on, we should vigorously develop the population of monks. For example, go out to find qualified mortal children and bring them back to the family. For each one brought back, we will reward spiritual stones or family contribution points. For another example, encourage the clan members to have offspring, whether they are mortals or monks. Whoever adds a qualified offspring to the family will be rewarded with a large amount of money or spiritual stones and spiritual medicines. No matter what method is used, as long as the family adds monks, there will be rewards. The higher the qualifications, the more rewards. Yun Shicheng and others nodded and shook their heads after hearing this. Uncle 25th, these measures have been taken by the family before, but they were abandoned because they did not work well. Moreover, those with spiritual roots are all picked from thousands of miles away, so how can they be so easy to find? I don't care about this. I just want to convey Xiaojiu's ideas. After I finish speaking, you can discuss and consider it carefully. Yun Yongzhu cleared his throat and continued to relay it. Xiaojiu also said that the clansmen and the family are too comfortable and have no ambition to make progress. If this continues, the family will decline. I deeply agree with this statement, but I have never had any solution. However, Xiaojiu did come up with an idea. Once the clan members have made progress in their cultivation, the family should give them some material rewards. In addition, the family needs to arrange more tasks for going out, to experience and increase the rewards for the tasks. Only by going out more often can you have adventures and opportunities, and it is not impossible to build a foundation. But going out to experience is very dangerous, and it is easy to die outside. The family has done this before, and several clansmen have died in succession, and no one has taken similar tasks anymore. Xiaojiu also said that there must be brave men under heavy rewards. You can also issue team tasks, and several people go out together, take care of and protect each other, and the chance of survival will naturally increase greatly. After adapting, you can practice alone. Xiaojiu said it well. If you can't build a foundation, you will still turn into yellow earth after 100 years. It's better to change your fate while you are still alive. If Xiaojiu had shown up earlier, I wonder what the family would have become. Would I have become one of the people who had to go out to practice? Everyone was silent. Some of them were already over 60 years old. Even if they were not yet 60, there was no hope that they could practice to the 9th level of key training before then. No matter how hard they practiced, it would be useless. Also, Xiaojiu said that the family has always been lifeless and lifeless. He suggested that every 3 or 5 years, a family competition could be held in the family, and the prizes could be top-grade elixirs or fine magic tools. This suggestion is very good, and I have decided to adopt it. Shicheng, you guys go back and perfect it, and you can hold the first family competition this year. As for other measures, you guys discuss it first, and then implement it in the family after the family pays back the annual tribute. Obviously, everyone liked this idea, and no one objected. In the Yunwu Mountain Ancestral Hall, Yun Yongzhu was talking about his ideas and suggestions for the family, but Yun Yongzhu also heard new news. Brother Zhang, you just mentioned the secret realm. Yes, Brother Yun, haven't you heard of it? This is a Zuanshan secret realm related to the Foundation Establishment Pill. Oh, Brother Zhang, please have some tea. I would like to hear more about it. It turns out that this Zuanshan secret realm will be opened once every 100 years, and it is the most important channel for Qingshan sect to obtain the main medicine of the Foundation Establishment Pill, the immortal spirit fruit, and the auxiliary medicine, the purple salvia milchiahiza. The second level lower grade purple salvia milchiahiza is okay. Although it is rare in the outside world, 1 or 2 plants can be found occasionally, and a few plants can be harvested every 100 years in the sect's spiritual medicine garden. But the main medicine, the immortal spirit fruit, not only has a high grade of the 3rd level lower grade, but also cannot be cultivated artificially. It is rumored that it has become extinct in the world of immortal cultivation, and can only be found in some secret realms, such as the Zuanshan secret realm of Qingshan sect. This Zuanshan secret realm is equivalent to a small world, with a very large scope. There are not only many rare spiritual flowers and fruits, but also many monsters and poisonous insects entrenched in it, including 2nd level, 3rd level, and even 4th level monsters. However, only low-level cultivators in the key training period can enter this Zuanshan secret realm, and it is open for only 1 month. Because of this, the death rate of those entering the secret realm is very high. Then Senior Brother Zhang, when will this Zuanshan secret realm be opened? According to the time, it should be opened in 5 years. However, this secret realm does not require us to enter, don't you know? What? Before the secret realm is opened, the sect will hold a Zuanshan competition in the outer sect to select disciples to enter the secret realm. At that time, the sect will naturally promise foundation building pills to induce those disciples to pick the main medicine of the foundation building pills and bring them out. When these spiritual medicines are used to refine the foundation building pills, our master will naturally fight for us. I see. Thank you senior brother Zhang for telling me. This senior brother Zhang is called Zhang Pie, and he is the direct disciple that Yun Yongzhu has just met. However, this Zhang Pie is not the direct disciple of Jinden Zenren. He is just the direct disciple of a cultivator who has reached the great perfection of foundation building. There are not many disciples like Yun Yongzhu who are only in the key training stage and have become disciples of Jinden Zenren. He cannot speak to the direct disciples of other foundation building cultivators, so he has to deal with the direct disciples of the foundation building cultivators in the sect. Because Yun Yongzhu's master is Jinden Zenren, he has a high status among these direct disciples of key training, and many people curry favor with him. So when Yun Yongzhu asked about the Zuanshan secret realm, Zhang Pie enthusiastically explained it to him in detail. Yun Yongzhu got the news he wanted to know, and he didn't want to stay here anymore, and wanted to go back to Piomio Peak. So he said, Brother Zhang, thank you for telling me about the Zuanshan secret realm. I have something else to do, so I won't stay with you for long. Okay, Brother Yun, then you go and get busy. I won't see you off. He was a little hesitant as to whether to arrange for Yun Yongzhu to enter the secret realm. Chapter 141. Fu Bei owning Horan. What, you want to go to Zuanshan secret realm? Huang Changsheng was a little surprised to hear Yun Yongzhu's words. You know, the cultivators who usually enter Zuanshan secret realm are menial disciples and outer disciples. There are also a few inner disciples. It is rare for disciples to enter Zuanshan secret realm. Xiaojiu, do you know how cruel this Zuanshan secret realm is? Every time, less than 1/10 of the people who come out alive. In Zuanshan secret realm, in addition to encountering various dangerous places and various monsters, there is also the danger of being killed and robbed by fellow disciples. And the most dangerous ones are precisely those fellow disciples who go in together to find spiritual medicine. After all, dangerous places and monsters can be avoided, but cultivators are not easy to avoid. Because the competition in the secret realm is fierce, often 300 to 500 people go in, and only 30 to 50 people come out. But the sect will not pursue this. After all, cultivators and monsters are the same, the law of the jungle, and the survival of the fittest. Unless there is a golden elixir or even a Yuanying behind the killed cultivator, otherwise it is a waste of death, and no one will explore how you died. I know, so I have been preparing to enter the Zuanshan secret realm for the past 5 years. Master, please let me go. The cultivators who enter the Zuanshan secret realm have to go in to get the foundation building pill. You don't have to worry about the foundation building pill. This time, the foundation building pill is made by your master, and you know this. Huang Changsheng didn't understand why his little disciple wanted to enter the Zuanshan secret realm. This isn't my disciple a 3 spiritual root aptitude? I'm worried that I won't have enough foundation building pills. Yun Yongzhu himself didn't believe this reason. Although he has the aptitude of 3 spiritual roots, his cultivation speed is not inferior to that of cultivators with earth spiritual roots. He is not even 30 years old now, but he has already reached the 9th level of key training. Moreover, his soul is powerful, and his spiritual awareness range is close to 6.5 meters in radius, which is also helpful for foundation building. After 6 years of getting along with Yun Yongzhu, Huang Changsheng has a certain understanding of his little disciple. He suddenly thought that Yun Yongzhu is a person who attaches great importance to feelings, especially his parents and family. Xiaojiu, do you want to help your parents and clansmen plan the foundation building pill? Yun Yongzhu knew that he could not hide it from his master, so he nodded in agreement. Huang Changsheng saw Yun Yongzhu nodded in agreement, and his mood was complicated. He was happy that his apprentice was a person who valued feelings, but he was also worried that Yun Yongzhu would attach too much importance to feelings and delay himself. Xiaojiu, cultivation is a process of plundering, competing with the heaven and earth for the essence of heaven and earth and spiritual power, and snatching opportunities from fellow practitioners. When we cultivate, we plunder. Of course, your master does not object to you helping your parents and clansmen, but cultivation mainly depends on the cultivators themselves. Master, I understand this truth, but I have been preparing for 5 years to enter the Zuanshan secret realm. I believe that with my own abilities, I will be able to come out of the Zuanshan secret realm safely. Yun Yongzhu did make a lot of preparations, such as practicing all offensive and defensive spells to the state of great success or perfection, and preparing a lot of offensive and defensive talismans of various attributes, etc. Huang Changsheng knew that what Yun Yongzhu said was true. After all, with his help, Yun Yongzhu's total spiritual power was about twice that of an ordinary cultivator. Not only that, Yun Yongzhu also learned the Loan step, and his figure was as thin as smoke when fighting against the enemy. Ordinary inner and outer disciples could not take advantage of him at all. Despite this, Huang Changsheng was still worried. He knew that, although his disciple was very good at alchemy, he did not have much experience in fighting against enemies. He had not gone out to practice in the 6 years since he entered Biomeo Peak. I know you are powerful, but you don't have experience in fighting against enemies. I have confidence in you in fighting against others, but I'm afraid that others will do something secretly. Moreover, there are many monsters in the Zuanshan secret realm. It is rumored that there are 3rd and 4th level monsters in it. Master, I have made up my mind. I must enter the Zuanshan secret realm. Huang Changsheng was very surprised. He didn't expect that his little disciple had such a stubborn side. He looked at Yun Yongzhu as if he had known him all over again. It's a good thing to have your own persistence. Since you have made up your mind, I will not stop you anymore. Huang Changsheng thought for a moment, took out a jade box from his storage ring, and handed it to Yun Yongzhu. This is an attack talisman that I got by chance in the past. It can be used 5 times. I give it to you today for self-defense. I hope you don't need it. Yun Yongzhu took the jade box respectfully with both hands, opened it, and saw a jade talisman containing strong spiritual power fluctuations. This is a talisman. The last time he saw the talisman was at the Wanbao Pavilion auction, when he participated in the king meeting more than 10 years ago. This talisman is more powerful than the 2nd level spiritual talisman, and can even hurt a giant and Zenran, and it is natural to kill a foundation building cultivator. Of course, its preciousness is also greater than the 2nd level spiritual talisman. Talismans, as the name suggests, are items related to magic weapons. This talisman is a treasure that can only be refined by powerful people with a cultivation base above the giant stage. The powerful people seal the power of magic weapons above the 3rd level treasures in the talisman paper, so that the lower level younger generations can use it. Moreover, talismans are different from ordinary 1st and 2nd level talismans. Talismans can generally be used about 5 times. Because making talismans will cause serious damage to the treasure, and a 3rd level treasure is an extremely precious item. Therefore, if the powerful have not reached the point of exhausting their lifespan, they will never start to refine talismans, which are items that damage their own treasures. Jiu, since you have decided to go to Zuanshan secret realm, I will introduce you to another person, and he will be here soon. Not long after, a disciple of the 9th level of key training really walked in. Master, is this the person you said you would introduce to me? Yun Yongzhu could feel the fierce momentum emanating from this person. Yes, Ninghoran, come over here quickly. Greetings to Master Huang. No need to be polite, Ninghoran. This is my little disciple Yun Yongzhu. Jiu, this is Ninghoran. You two should get to know each other, so that you can cooperate in the Zuanshan secret realm. Ninghoran, are you the one who won the 1st place in the Zuanshan competition? Mr. ZHU, I've heard of your name for a long time. The two nodded to each other and knew each other. Ninghoran was very brave. He said to Huang Changsheng directly, Master Huang, as your direct disciple, does Master ZHU need to go into the Zuanshan secret realm in person? Huang Changsheng did not speak. Yun Yongzhu explained, it has nothing to do with my master. I want to go in on my own. Jiu insisted on entering the Zuanshan secret realm. I have no choice. I just hope you can take care of him in the secret realm. Master Huang, I'll listen to your instructions. However, the Zuanshan secret realm is so large. If the place we enter is too far away, how can I find Master ZHU? You don't have to worry about that. I happen to have a magic weapon here that can help you find each other. After that, Huang Changsheng took out a round red jade plate, split it into two, and handed them to Yun Yongzhu and Ning Horan respectively. This is the heart-to-heart jade pendant. As long as the two of you are within 1,000 miles of each other, the jade pendant will sense it. However, if you put it in the storage bag, the heart-to-heart jade pendant will not sense each other, so you have to carry it with you. Yun Yongzhu put the half of the heart-to-heart jade pendant in his hand into the storage bag, and sure enough, he could not sense the existence of the other half of the jade immediately. You also know each other. Let's swear a heart demon oath together. The heart demon oath is an oath made with the heart demon of the cultivator as the guide, with words as the oath, and with oneself as the carrier. Huang Changsheng is experienced, so he naturally would not be naive to think that two strangers would trust and cooperate with each other after a few words from him. But if the two could not trust each other, they could not help each other in the Zuanshan secret realm. Chapter 142. Hunting for treasure butterflies. Although there is no need to worry about life after making this oath, if it is violated, the inner demon will take advantage of the opportunity to enter, and the cultivator will be in a state of confusion, and will no longer have the possibility of promotion. Therefore, almost all cultivators are extremely cautious about the inner demon oath, and will never take the oath easily, unless it is absolutely necessary. Huang Changsheng's words of taking the inner demon oath are enough to prove the sincerity of the two masters and apprentices. Ning Horan couldn't help but feel relieved when he heard Huang Changsheng say this. Yun Yongzhu is the direct disciple of Jiandan Zenran. If he suddenly attacks him in the secret realm, he doesn't know if he can deal with it. After all, no one can predict what will happen in the secret realm. After the two of them took the inner demon oath together, they smiled at each other and became more trusting of each other. The content of the oath is nothing more than words like in the Zuanshan secret realm. The two should trust each other, help each other, and never attack each other. The inner demon oath is generally used in similar situations. Two or more unfamiliar cultivators have to work together. In order to gain trust and cooperate successfully, they will take the inner demon oath together. The main reason why Huang Changsheng proposed the requirement of taking the heart demon oath was to ensure Yun Yongzhu's safety. If Yun Yongzhu entered the Zuanshan secret realm, he would definitely be the one with the most trump cards and magic weapons and spiritual objects, and he happened to be the one with the least experience in fighting among all the disciples. But Ning Horan was different. He was able to pass 5 levels and kill 6 generals and get the first place in this Zuanshan competition, which showed how capable he was. Ning Horan knew some of Yun Yongzhu's details. If he became greedy and killed Yun Yongzhu to steal his treasure, or if he encountered a high-level spiritual medicine in it and wanted to take it all for himself, it was not impossible. Tomorrow is the day to enter the Zuanshan secret realm. Ning Horan, take these 2 second-level talismans and go back to rest first. After Ning Horan left, Yun Yongzhu asked in confusion, Master, do you have any spiritual medicine that you need to find in the Zuanshan secret realm? He had wanted to ask for a long time. The purpose of Ning Horan's appearance here was nothing more than to find some spiritual medicine for the master. After all, he was about to enter the Zuanshan secret realm. Yes, this Zuanshan secret realm is vast and rich in spiritual medicine resources. Not only does it have the main medicine of the foundation building pill, the immortal spirit fruit, and the auxiliary medicine of the purple salvia milchiahiza, but also the main medicine of the Kyankan creation pill, the creation fruit, and the crimson cloud grass that can be used to refine the crimson cloud pill. So that's it. The Kyankan creation pill and the crimson cloud pill are both spiritual pills that can assist in forming a pill. The master should be preparing for the master's wife to form a pill. Master, since it is a spiritual medicine prepared for the master's wife to form a pill, I will also pay more attention to it in the secret realm. Well, just do your best. By the way, there is also this map. You can take it. This is a map of the areas that have been explored in the secret realm drawn by the Kigan cultivators of the sect after many years and untold hardships. If you find a new area in it, remember to complete this map, and remember to give me a copy when you come out. It's getting late. You go back and study the secret map carefully. Yun Yongzhu then took his leave and returned to his Loyan Hall. As soon as he returned to the cave, He released the soul-devouring golden cicada Zyojin, fed it a first-grade superior demon beast essence, and then put it back into the spirit beast bag. There were 2 spirit beast bags hanging on his waist. He opened the other spirit beast bag and released a spirit butterfly with colorful wings. This was a precious treasure hunting butterfly that Yun Yongzhu had specially found, and it was also prepared for entering the Zuanshan secret realm. Since he learned about the Zuanshan secret realm 5 years ago, he began to look for spirit beasts that could find spiritual herbs and medicines. With the help of the third sister Emolina, he finally found the spirit egg of this treasure hunting butterfly. This treasure hunting butterfly is a master at finding spiritual herbs and spiritual objects. It is the most sensitive to spiritual energy and the most sensitive sense of smell among all treasure hunting spirit beasts. It is also called the spirit hunting butterfly. Of course, it is also very valuable. Just one insect egg cost Yun Yongzhu 1/3 of his annual salary, which is more expensive than the insect egg of the soul-devouring golden cicada. Even so, he still had the opportunity to get this rare treasure hunting butterfly egg because of the help of the third senior sister. More than 4 years later, Yun Yongzhu spent more than 800 spirit stones and finally cultivated this treasure hunting butterfly named Wukei to the first grade upper grade. Wukei's wings spread out to nearly 15 inches in size. It was resting on Yun Yongzhu's arm, flapping its wings slowly, as if breathing. Yun Yongzhu took out a first grade lower grade soul feeding pill and handed it to Wukei's mouth, that is, the mouthparts. The soul feeding pill quickly shrank at Yun Yongzhu's fingertips until it disappeared. After eating the soul feeding pill, Wukei flapped its wings and conveyed to Yun Yongzhu the idea of wanting more. Yun Yongzhu had no choice but to prepare another spoonful of soul honey for it. This was the first grade upper grade royal jelly, and 1 small spoonful was 1 spirit stone. After eating the spoonful of soul honey, Wukei flew away with satisfaction. In order to raise this treasure hunting butterfly, Yun Yongzhu specially instructed Wang Yiming to sprinkle many flower and grass seeds inside and outside the cave for it to collect nectar. In the past 6 years, Wang Yiming not only took care of the 51 spiritual fruit trees in the Loan Palace, but also opened up 20 acres of low-grade spiritual fields not far from the cave, and planted many spiritual plants. However, this is also the limit of Wang Yiming. Apart from the time he spends on cultivation, he has almost no free time to do other things. Yun Yongzhu has persuaded him many times to find another outer disciple to help him, but Wang Yiming insisted that he could take care of the spiritual fruit trees and the spiritual fields at the same time, so Yun Yongzhu stopped persuading him. It is also because of the income from these 20 acres of spiritual fields that Yun Yongzhu can make more preparations for entering the Zuanshan secret realm. Not to mention the soul-eating golden cicada and the treasure-hunting butterfly, 2 big consumers of spiritual stones. The talismans and magic tools that Yun Yongzhu purchases every year alone add up to more than 12,000 spiritual stones. Moreover, in these 6 years, Yun Yongzhu ate and used all spiritual food, plus the high-grade elixirs consumed in cultivation, etc., which added up to a considerable amount. In addition, the method of increasing spiritual power set by his master, the spiritual medicine for the medicinal bath, was not cheap. After a year of continuous bathing, he spent more than 5,000 spiritual stones, not to mention the cost of the auxiliary cultivation method spirit tempering technique given to him by his master. Of course, the cost of his 51 spiritual fruit trees was not low either, and he spent more than 2,000 spiritual stones in 6 years. Among them, the 51st level spiritual fruit trees, according to Wang Yiming, will bloom and bear fruit in 3 to 5 years. As for the 3rd level 5 element spiritual fruit tree, it is still a small tree 3 feet tall, and it is a long way from blooming and bearing fruit. All these, in the 6 years, since entering Piomio Peak, Yun Yongzhu did not even save 7,000 spiritual stones, which was worse than when he was in Yuntai Peak. However, although he did not have many spiritual stones, he had a lot of supplies. There were more than 3,000 talismans alone, and as many as 12 second level spiritual talismans. He also prepared one for each of the attack and defense magic tools and auxiliary magic tools of various attributes. He also bought a magic tool level wooden box, jade box and other items for storing precious spiritual medicines, and he also bought a first grade superior storage bag. Yun Yongzhu believed that no one would prepare for entering the secret realm like he did 5 years ago, and no one would prepare as fully as he did. In addition to supplies, there are also sect points. In the past 6 years, Yun Yongzhu has accumulated 6,974 sect points with his excellent alchemy skills. In 6 years, he earned 3,936 points. The average annual income is 656 points. This is mainly caused by 2 factors. First, in order to earn more points, most of the pills he refined were settled in points, so the income from spirit stones decreased a lot. Second, he had already practiced the 9-turn alchemy art 2 years ago. With his current cultivation and ability, he can already refine second turn pills, so the pills are of better quality and sell at a higher price, which makes his points income higher. Without these 2 factors, according to his original estimate, even if he exchanged all the elixirs for sect points, he could only earn about 2,500 points at most in 6 years. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 143, Entering the Secret Realm. The reason why Yun Yongzhu wanted to enter the Zuanshan secret realm was because his father Yun Daichen would be 60 in 2 years, and his mother Yang Liu was 57 now. If he didn't get the foundation building pills for them before they turned 60, their hope of building a foundation would be even slimmer. In the past 6 years, Yun Zuxuan went back and forth between Qingshan Sect and Yunwu Mountain twice, once every 2 years. In addition to giving him a small portion of the pills reserved for the family, Yun Yongzhu also asked him to bring enough high-grade key gathering pills and marrow cleansing pills for his parents to practice, and even 2 top-grade key gathering pills. With Yun Yongzhu's unremitting help, his father Yun Daichen and his mother Yang Liu actually entered the 9th level of key training very smoothly 2 years ago. If it weren't for the fact that his father and mother had the basic conditions for building a foundation, he wouldn't have made up his mind to enter the Zuanshan secret realm to take the risk. After all, Yun Yongzhu was just making preparations before, but he had never told his master about his idea of entering the secret realm. Of course, in these 6 years, not only Yun Daichen and his wife have changed a lot, but Yunwu Mountain has also changed a lot. I heard from my 25th great uncle that the clan is now thriving. Many clan members who remain at the 3rd level of key training have entered the 4th level of key training, and there are 2 more clan members in the late stage of key training. The next day, Yun Yongzhu packed up his things early and came to Huang Chengsheng's Piomio residence. He set out with him to Dabi Peak to meet up with everyone. The 2 talked while flying to the square of Dabi Peak. Master, the Zuanshan secret realm is really big. How long has a sect been exploring it? Why haven't we explored it yet? I see there is still a large blank space on the map. Yun Yongzhu was amazed after looking at the map of the secret realm yesterday. It is unknown how many years the secret realm has existed. The sect only discovered its entrance 1,000 years ago, and it took nearly 100 years to figure out its rules. Unfortunately, only disciples in the key training stage can enter. Cultivators with a cultivation base above the foundation building stage will be blocked by an invisible force, and even the Yuanying ancestors in the sect are helpless. So don't underestimate this Zuanshan secret realm, and be careful in it. Well, I know, Master, I will be more careful. Jiu, you didn't participate in the Zuanshan competition, so you should keep a low profile later. You can just follow behind and go in. By the way, you can take the Shapa shifting pill now. The Shapa shifting pill is not like the low level disguise pill, which can only change your appearance for a few hours or days. After taking the Shapa shifting pill, you can not only change your appearance, but most importantly, it has the effect of changing your spiritual energy. It really changes your appearance and Shapa shifting. Even people who are very familiar with you cannot recognize you. Yun Yongzhu was about to take this pill, so he took out a small white pill and put it in his mouth. After a while, his face moved, and then it turned into a strange and honest middle-aged monk's face, and his height became a little shorter. Master, how is it? Yun Yongzhu's voice became much heavier. Don't you believe in the elixir refined by your master? Although the shape-shifting pill you took is only a second grade inferior one, it is more effective than the top grade disguise pill. How could it be? Master, this shape-shifting pill is too magical. I guess even if I stand in front of my parents now, they won't recognize me. Yun Yongzhu looked at his arms and legs and touched his round face, exclaiming again and again, Xiaojiu, the effect of this pill is exactly 1 month. During this period, you don't need to take the second one. Yun Yongzhu nodded, put away the remaining shape-shifting pills, and then pointed to the giant peak in front of him. Master, we are here. Don't shout the wrong thing in front of outsiders later. As soon as their feet landed on the ground, 2 giant Zenren came over. Brother Huang, you came here in person? Brother Huang, this is your little disciple. Has he taken the shape-shifting pill? Brother Lin. Brother Wei. Xiaojiu, come and meet your Uncle Lin and Uncle Wei. Yun Yongzhu respectfully greeted the 2 giant Zenren. Before the 3 giant Zenren said a few words, a Foundation establishment cultivator came over to report. Uncle Lin, Uncle Wei, Uncle Huang, everyone is here. Okay, let's go. Lin Jiandan took out a magic weapon the size of a date pit from his danshan, threw it into the sky above the Dabi Peak Square, and it turned into a huge ship. All disciples, listen to my order, get on the treasure ship. So the hundreds of key training disciples gathered in the square went up to the giant ship at the same time. Brother Wei, Brother Huang, please get on board. After everyone got on Lin Jiandan's treasure ship, Lin Jiandan urged the treasure ship to speed quickly towards the east. The speed of the treasure ship was simply lightning fast. After about an hour, it brought everyone to an unfamiliar mountain range. Uncle Huang, there is not even a trace of spiritual energy here. How can it be the entrance to the secret realm? Yun Yongzhu asked him in a concealed tone, while following his master Huang Chengsheng off the treasure ship. I don't know, but the Yuanying ancestors of the sect guessed that the Zuanshan secret realm absorbed all the spiritual energy around here, making the surrounding area a place without spiritual energy. Fortunately, the secret realm only absorbs spiritual energy within 1,000 miles, and never expands the scope of absorption. Oh. Okay, don't follow me, go there. Yun Yongzhu nodded slightly, and then quietly merged into the team of hundreds of disciples. Everyone had a serious expression. After all, if you enter this Zuanshan secret realm, it is unknown whether you can come out alive. Everyone listen, I will repeat the rules. All the spiritual medicines brought out of the secret realm must be handed over to the sect, or directly exchanged for foundation building pills, or exchanged for sect points. The following are the spiritual medicines that can be directly exchanged for foundation building pills. 1 fairy fruit and 1 purple ginseng will be rewarded with 1 foundation building pill. 3 fairy fruits will be rewarded with 1 foundation building pill. 3 purple ginsengs will also be rewarded with 1 foundation building pill. 10 spiritual medicines above the 3rd level will be rewarded with 1 foundation building pill. 1 spiritual medicine above the 4th level will be rewarded with multiple foundation building pills. We will discuss the details later. The map of spiritual medicines was distributed to you after the competition. I hope you can come out safely and get what you want. All the disciples came to this place because they were competing for the foundation building pills. When they heard Lin Jiandan mention the foundation building pills, they all looked yearning and determined to win. Less than a quarter of an hour after Lin Jiandan finished speaking, a strong spiritual power fluctuation came from behind him. Everyone looked in that direction and found that a 9-foot high circular vortex-shaped hole was slowly forming. Seeing this, Lin Jiandan hurriedly said, when the passage is stable, everyone go in immediately. This passage can only last for a quarter of an hour. As soon as the voice fell, the vortex-shaped passage stabilized. Go in quickly. So all the cultivators lined up in 2s and 3s and entered the passage together. Yun Yongzhu stood at the back, but it was his turn soon. Before he entered the passage, he only heard a voice transmission. Xiaojiu, the master is waiting for you outside. As soon as Yun Yongzhu stepped into the dark hole, he felt that his foot was empty and the whole person fell down. I don't know how long it took, maybe just a moment. Yun Yongzhu felt that he had arrived in an unfamiliar space where the spiritual energy was abundant, comparable to the 3rd level spiritual vein. Chapter 144, The Snipe and the Clam Fight. His whole body was still falling freely, and Yun Yongzhu quickly performed a cloud soaring technique. Before he landed on the ground, a white cloud gathered dangerously on his back. Yun Yongzhu sat up on the white cloud, looked at the distance of less than 3 feet from the ground, patted his chest, and soothed his frightened heart. I almost died before I could accomplish my mission. Yun Yongzhu wiped the cold sweat from his forehead and slowly descended to the ground by controlling the cloud. This was a jungle, and it was quiet all around. He immediately released his soul-devouring golden toad Zyojin with full vigilance. Speaking of which, in the past 6 years, Yun Yongzhu spent more than 6,000 spirit stones, and fed Zyojin more than 200 monster spirits, of which nearly half were first grade upper grade monster spirits. However, the soul-devouring golden cicada still showed no signs of advancement, and was still at the 2nd grade lower grade level. If it weren't for the fact that the soul-devouring golden cicada had a slight effect of nourishing the soul when it devoured the spirit of the monster, which allowed his spiritual awareness range to increase by half a meter in 6 years, Yun Yongzhu felt that his 6,400 or 500 spirit stones were all wasted. Yun Yongzhu ordered Zyojin to use the soul calming technique to attack all around indiscriminately, and when he saw that there was no unusual movement, he relaxed a little. He looked up at the sun hanging high in the sky, wondering if this sun was the same as the one outside. He shook his head and threw away his distracting thoughts, and then Yun Yongzhu released the colorful treasure hunting butterfly. "Okay, it's up to you. Take me to find the elixir." As soon as the treasure hunting butterfly came out of the spirit beast bag, it flapped its wings and flew in one direction eagerly. Yun Yongzhu's eyes lit up and followed Wu Kei's figure. One person and one butterfly flew one after the other for half an incense stick of time before they stopped. Yun Yongzhu looked at the colorful tiger in front of him, staring at him covetously, and couldn't help but hold his forehead. "Wu Kei, I asked you to find spiritual medicine, not a demon beast." Fortunately, this colorful tiger was only a first level low grade tiger demon, and it had no magical powers. Yun Yongzhu used a tangle spell to hold it, and then activated the fire snake sword to kill it in no time. Tangle spell is one of the new spells Yun Yongzhu has learned in the past 6 years. After casting, it can produce several vines to tightly wrap around the target. Yun Yongzhu has only cultivated this spell to the minor success level, but it is enough to deal with some low level demon beasts. He put the body of the tiger demon, which was more than 2 meters long, into the storage bag, and then said to Zunbaodi, "Wu Kei, you have to be serious. What I need is spiritual medicine." Zunbaodi circled Yun Yongzhu, and then flew to the place where the demon tiger appeared. Yun Yongzhu pushed aside the lush weeds, took a closer look, and found that there was a cave entrance there. Could this be the tiger demon's lair? Judging from Wu Kei's appearance, there must be some spiritual medicine inside. Yun Yongzhu followed the soul seeker carefully into the cave, and found that the space was very large, and he could not see the end at a glance. Seeing Wu Kei continue to fly inside, he clenched the fire snake sword in his hand and followed closely. As he walked, he suddenly saw a pink lotus-like spiritual flower. Huan iron flower. Yun Yongzhu was very surprised. This is a main ingredient for refining the 2nd level Huan iron pill. Huan iron pill is also called Fu iron pill. As the name suggests, this pill can make people return to youth and restore their peak appearance after taking it, and can also maintain youth for 50 years. Although it is not as effective as Ding iron pill in making the face last forever, Ding iron pill does not have the effect of Huan iron pill in restoring youth. After all, most cultivators have become old men and women when they can afford this kind of pill, so compared with the 1st level Ding iron pill, they want the 2nd level Huan iron pill more. But this Huan iron pill is more precious and rare than Ding iron pill. The Huan iron flower is a 3rd level lower grade spiritual medicine, which is difficult to find outside the secret realm. He didn't expect that he had such a big harvest in less than half an hour after entering the Zuanshan secret realm. No wonder Master Lin said that only one foundation building pill would be rewarded if 10 3rd level spiritual medicines were handed in. At that time, he was still muttering in his heart that it was too harsh. Now it seems that this reward is not difficult to obtain. Yun Yongzhu has a strong curiosity about any elixir he has not refined. But unfortunately, this Huanan flower will eventually be handed over to the sect. Otherwise he would like to try to refine the Huanan pill after building the foundation, instructing the soul-eating golden cicada to be on guard for him. Yun Yongzhu took out a small jade shovel and a second-level jade box of moderate size. He waved away the colorful treasure-hunting butterfly that was resting on the Huanan flower, carefully dug it out, put it in the jade box, covered it with a lid, and slapped a soul-sealing talisman before putting it in the storage bag. Half an hour later, Yun Yongzhu patted the dirt on his body, cleaned himself up, and ordered Wu-Kei to continue looking for spiritual medicine for him. After leaving the tiger demon's lair, he had good luck and found many spiritual medicines and fruits. There were Liuayu flower, silver silk flower, Yanluo grass, Feng's Hao flower, Zuanshang flower, Jinling grass, and ground ginseng, etc. However, these were only first level spiritual flowers and herbs. There were only 3 or 2 second level ones. Their only value was to exchange them for sect points and obtain priority to purchase foundation building pills. During this period, he also encountered attacks from 2 monsters, but they were all safe and sound. Yun Yongzhu successfully killed them and put them into his storage bag. After Yun Yongzhu collected another first level spiritual herb, he looked at the sky and felt that he should find a place to spend the night. So in the following time, he looked for spiritual medicines while looking for a suitable place to stay. Yun Yongzhu was following Wu-Kei when he suddenly heard a beast roar from the direction led by Wu-Kei. His expression condensed, and he quickly recalled the treasure hunting butterfly and put it into the spiritual beast bag. This treasure hunting butterfly is good in everything, with strong treasure hunting ability and fast flying speed. Its butterfly wings can even change colors for camouflage. The only flaw is that it has no attack power. Even the powder on ordinary spirit butterflies is more or less toxic, but the scale powder on the spirit butterfly is only used for waterproofing and also makes it look colorful and beautiful. I heard that the treasure hunting butterfly will have offensive spells after advancing to the second level, but I don't know if it is true or not. At present, Yun Yongzhu has to be careful to protect this spirit butterfly that has no offensive power. This spirit insect has cost him a lot of thought, and he can't let it die easily. Then Yun Yongzhu thought for a moment and decided to find out what was going on. So he took a first level low grade magic talisman for himself and quickly went to the place where the beast roared. The closer he got, the louder the noise. From this noise, Yun Yongzhu guessed that there were 2 monsters fighting. Sure enough, when he got closer, he saw 2 monsters fighting to the death from a distance. They were a wind-winged tiger and a bloodthirsty wolf. Judging from the fluctuations of their spiritual power, they should be second level high-grade monsters. Yun Yongzhu slapped an invisibility charm on himself and then used the steeping technique before carefully finding a hidden place to hide. These 2 monsters are both second level upper grade monsters. If they find him as an outsider, they will definitely kill him first. Now the 2 monsters are both wounded and bleeding, but the wounds don't look big. With his cultivation, he would be in trouble if he met one of them. If he was not careful, he might lose his life. However, Yun Yongzhu did not take the opportunity to leave, but looked for the reason why the 2 monsters were fighting. His eyes swept through the bushes not far from the 2 monsters, and he thought to himself that it was indeed the case. In the bushes was a spiritual plant about 5 inches long, with 3 green leaves and a pale yellow flower in the middle that was about to bloom. Third level lower grade spiritual medicine Nightheart flower. Yun Yongzhu looked at the battle between the 2 monsters again. At present, the wind-winged tiger had the upper hand. The wind-winged tiger had wings, and every spell attack from the bloodthirsty wolf was evaded by it nimbly. However, most of the wind blades of the wind-winged tiger landed on the bloodthirsty wolf. Yun Yongzhu looked at the one-sided battle and couldn't help feeling anxious. After the wind-winged tiger dealt with the bloodthirsty wolf, it would definitely attack the Nightheart flower. No, I can't just sit back and let the wind-winged tiger swallow the Nightheart flower. But what should I do? Yun Yongzhu's mind raced as he pondered how to turn the situation around. Did he have to use the second order talisman on the first day of entering the secret realm? Yun Yongzhu wondered in his heart if it was worth it. The bloodthirsty wolf had more and more wounds on its body, which aroused its ferocity. It turned its head and glanced at the night heart flower, unwilling to die and leave the elixir to this guy who suddenly appeared. Before Yun Yongzhu made up his mind to use the second order talisman, the battle situation took a sharp turn. The bloodthirsty wolf was forced into a corner and spit out its inner elixir. It's not easy to be a code slave. Chapter 145 The Fisherman Gains Benefit. Yun Yongzhu was shocked when he saw this scene. It seemed that the bloodthirsty wolf was going to die together with the wind-winged tiger. It even vomited out its inner elixir. What else could it be but self-destruction of its inner elixir? The inner elixir was the crystallization and carrier of the spirit power of the monster. It would not be easily allowed to leave the body, because once the inner elixir was damaged, the monster's cultivation would be gone. Yun Yongzhu almost performed the lower steps as a conditioned reflex, turning into a wisp of green smoke and escaping further away. While running, he also offered a shield to block behind him. This was not enough, so he slapped a first grade upper grade earth wall talisman on himself. Just when Yun Yongzhu had just run more than a mile, a loud noise came from behind him. Boom. The bloodthirsty wolf's red inner elixir exploded like an atomic bomb, and the wind-winged tiger was instantly severely injured by the violent spirit power. It was like a piece of rag, and was thrown more than 10 feet away by the huge shockwave, lying on the ground, not knowing whether it was alive or dead. The violent spiritual power spread all around, and even Yun Yongzhu, who had already fled far away, was inevitably affected. The huge spiritual power wave first hit the first grade golden tortoise shield, then broke through the protection of the earth wall talisman, and then Yun Yongzhu flew backwards 3 meters away like a kite with a broken string. He lay on the ground to take a breath, then slowly stood up and spit out a mouthful of blood. Yun Yongzhu still underestimated the power of the self-explosion of the inner elixir of this second grade upper grade monster. He slowly rubbed his chest and was glad that he was wearing the second grade top grade defensive inner armor given to him by his master Huang Changsheng. The inner armor was a complete set, including a top, a pair of shorts, a pair of arm guards and a pair of knee pads, all of which were woven from the third grade lower grade heavenly silk. Not only was it soft and close to the body when worn, but its defensive power was also far superior to that of ordinary defensive spiritual tools. This set of inner armor was extremely precious. Because the main material was heavenly silk, Yun Yongzhu named it the heavenly silk armor. The heavenly silkworm armor was specially made for Yun Yongzhu by Huang Changsheng. After Yun Yongzhu got it, he never took it off. Because he had been given the heavenly silkworm armor for self-defense, Huang Changsheng only gave him one talisman when he entered the Zuanshan secret realm this time. Yun Yongzhu took out a low-grade KO Huandan from his storage bag and swallowed it. The pain in his chest was immediately relieved. Then he put away the high-grade golden turtle shield and quickly returned to the place where the bloodthirsty wolf exploded its inner elixir with the fire snake sword. From a distance, Yun Yongzhu saw two monsters lying quietly in the same place, one in the south and one in the north, motionless. He didn't know whether they were unconscious or dead. He didn't dare to be careless and slapped another first level low grade wooden armor talisman on himself and then slowly approached the bloodthirsty wolf. Soon, Yun Yongzhu walked to the side of the bloodthirsty wolf. He tentatively poked its body with the fire snake sword. Seeing that the bloodthirsty wolf was still motionless, he wanted to go and see the wind-winged tiger on the other side, which was more than 10 feet away. Yun Yongzhu had just bypassed the huge pit between the two monsters when he noticed the unusual movement of the wind-winged tiger. The wind-winged tiger suddenly flew up and ran towards the night heart flower. Its wings were already tattered and could not take off. Yun Yongzhu would certainly not remain indifferent. In his opinion, the night heart flower was already in his pocket. The wind-winged tiger wanted to snatch the meat that was about to be eaten by him in this state, which was impossible. Yun Yongzhu used the lion step and chased after the wind-winged tiger. The fire snake sword in his hand flew into the air and stabbed it fiercely. The sword actually scratched the wind-winged tiger's hind legs. The wind-winged tiger screamed and staggered to a stop. Yun Yongzhu took the opportunity to catch up and stood between the night heart flower and the wind-winged tiger. The wind-winged tiger bared its teeth and let out a low growl, staring at Yun Yongzhu fiercely, as if it wanted to swallow him into its stomach. However, it was severely injured at this time. Its fierce posture was just a show of strength on the outside, but a weakness on the inside. Yun Yongzhu was not afraid of it. He avoided several wind blades and attacked the wind-winged tiger with the fire snake sword. The wind-winged tiger dodged left and right in a panic, trying to pounce on Yun Yongzhu. Unfortunately, it was too seriously injured and had difficulty in moving. It also had little demonic power left. In the end, it still could not avoid Yun Yongzhu's fierce attack and was hit hard by Yun Yongzhu's sword on the neck. Blood flowed from the neck of the wind-winged tiger and it fell to the ground in a few breaths. However, after it died, its eyes were still wide open, staring at the night heart flower, and it died with its eyes wide open. It did not expect that it had tried its best to survive the bloodthirsty wolf's self-destruction of its inner elixir, but a human monk appeared and took advantage of the conflict between the snipe and the clam. Yun Yongzhu was afraid that some other person or monster would suddenly appear and come to the rescue like he did, so he quickly collected the bodies of the two monsters and then took out tools and utensils to dig out the night heart flower and put it away. More than half an hour later, Yun Yongzhu found a cave nearby, guessing it was the lair of the wind-winged tiger or the bloodthirsty wolf, and decided to spend the night in it. He skillfully arranged the golden light array and the mysterious array in the cave, before relaxing his mind. The golden light array was a first-class killing array that he specially prepared for the trip to the secret realm. It was extremely lethal and powerful, and it was no problem to deal with 3 or 5 monks of the same level at the same time. Because as long as a person or monster stepped into the range of the golden light array, unless they found a way out, they would be attacked by countless golden light swords. This formation was specially prepared by Yun Yongzhu to make up for the lack of offensiveness of the mysterious array. After the two formations of attack and defense were arranged, Yun Yongzhu's sense of security suddenly increased greatly. Then he leisurely fed the soul-devouring golden cicada and the soul-seeking butterfly, and then he had the mind to slowly sort out the harvest of the day. First, he released the corpses of all the spirit beasts he had harvested today. The spotted tiger that he had collected before harvesting the Huanan flower was only a first-level low-grade demon beast, and the most valuable things on it were its essence and blood. All the demon beast essences harvested today were directly fed to the soul-devouring golden cicada by Yun Yongzhu, so Yun Yongzhu only peeled off its skin and collected 5 drops of essence and blood, and then put the more than 70 kilograms of mixed blood into a wooden barrel, and the remaining tiger meat was packed in a special storage bag. Next were the 2 demon beasts that attacked him on the road. They were both first-level medium-grade demon beasts. Only their fur and flesh were left on their bodies, which were still of some value. Yun Yongzhu separated the skin and flesh and collected them separately. Of course, the essence and mixed blood were not wasted. Then came the corpses of the wind-winged tiger and the bloodthirsty wolf that he had collected more than an hour ago. Needless to say, the bloodthirsty wolf was the most seriously injured when its inner elixir exploded. There was not a single piece of good fur on its body. In the end, it only sorted out 7 drops of blood essence, a bucket of about 20 kilograms of mixed blood, and more than 100 kilograms of meat and bones. As for the wind-winged tiger, Yun Yongzhu cut open its abdomen and found its inner elixir as big as a night pearl. He put it into a jade box with a happy face and then put it into the storage bag. This inner elixir is the crystallization of the wind-winged tiger's whole body of demonic power, and it is also the carrier of its demonic power. This second level upper grade wind-winged tiger's inner elixir is also his biggest gain today. The fur of the wind-winged tiger had been cut countless times long ago, and it was no longer worth collecting. The pair of broken wings were of some value, and the other 3 drops of blood essence, a bucket of 40 kilograms of mixed blood, and more than 300 kilograms of wind-winged tiger meat. Yun Yongzhu was very surprised by this unexpected harvest, and at the same time, he was more vigilant. This Zuanshan secret realm was indeed full of dangers, and 2 second-level upper-grade demon beasts could be encountered at any time. Chapter 146, Demonic Beast in a Pill. The reason why the inner elixir of the wind-winged tiger was his biggest gain today was because he had seen a few words in the classics saying that the 3rd level inner elixir was the main material for refining the foundation building elixir, but the inner elixir of some 2nd level top grade monsters could also be used as the main material for refining the foundation building elixir. Of course, this foundation building elixir was not the mainstream foundation building elixir recipe today. As for whether the inner elixir of the wind-winged tiger could be used as the main material for refining the foundation building elixir, Yun Yongzhu didn't know. He planned to ask his master. After he went out, Yun Yongzhu observed the monster inner elixir in the jade box. The whole body of this wind-winged tiger monster elixir was transparent and crystal-like, just like a glass bead. Holding it in the palm of his hand, it felt very heavy. Yun Yongzhu could clearly feel the majestic energy contained in this small bead. Yun Yongzhu knew that the inner elixir of monsters could be used to refine elixirs before entering the sect, but after entering the Qingshan sect, he had never seen a recipe with monster elixir as the material, and had never seen other alchemists refine it. However, after worshipping Huang Chengsheng as his master, he saw his master start the furnace with the demon pill as the material. It was a second level pill called Qingshan pill, and the main material was the inner pill of a second level low grade ice armored python. The so-called Qingshan pill, as the name suggests, is a pill that has the effect of calming the mind and eliminating distracting thoughts. Taking it before retreating can calm the restless and complicated mood and allow the cultivator to quickly enter a state of concentration. Moreover, after entering the state of cultivation, it can ensure that the cultivator's spiritual platform is clear and prevent the invasion of the inner demon. It can be regarded as a panacea to assist the cultivator to break through the existing realm. As we all know, the cultivator will have the probability of breeding inner demons after building the foundation, so this Qingshan pill is most suitable for the cultivator in the foundation building period. However, Qingshan pill is very precious, and the foundation building cultivator generally only uses it at the critical moment of breakthrough. This demon beast in a pill contains all the spiritual power condensed by the demon beast. The spiritual power contained in the second level demon beast in a pill is relatively pure. Human cultivators can directly absorb and refine the spiritual power inside and transform it into their own cultivation. In addition to being used as a direct cultivation resource, the inner elixir of the demon beast can also be fed to spirit beasts to assist them in their advancement. In addition, the inner elixir of the demon beast can also be used as a material for refining magic weapons. Therefore, even if the inner elixir of the wind-winged tiger cannot be used as a material for refining the foundation building elixir in the end, its value itself is not low, and it is a precious item. Yun Yongzhu only observed it for less than half a minute before putting the second grade upper grade demon beast inner elixir back into the jade box and storing it in the deepest part of the storage bag. The materials on the demon beast, including the inner elixir, as long as they are not spiritual plants and spiritual medicines, are not items that must be handed over to the sect. This rule made Yun Yongzhu very happy. He continued to put all the remaining wind-winged tiger meat into the storage bag that was specially used to store beast meat, and then took out all the spiritual medicines he harvested today. Today was his first day in the secret realm, and there was still a lot of space in the storage bag. He calculated that when the storage bag was full, if there were more precious items to be stored, he would throw away some of the less valuable demon beast meat in it. He mainly dealt with the corpses of monsters. As for the spiritual medicine, he just took out a small brush to clean it up. After a few days, some of the spiritual medicines that needed to be dealt with still had to be dealt with simply. After all, he would stay in the secret realm for a month, and the medicinal properties of the spiritual medicines had to be preserved. He was a professional alchemist, and of course he knew that if some spiritual medicines were not dealt with, after leaving the soil, most of their medicinal properties would be lost. After Yun Yongzhu cleaned up all the spiritual medicines, he looked at the concentric jade pendant hanging around his waist, but there was still no movement. He didn't know where Ninghoran was now. According to the map of the secret realm given to him by his master, Yun Yongzhu had long recognized the area he was in, which was a place called Xianlang Mountain. This Xianlang Mountain occupies a large area, and he estimated that he would not be able to leave the mountain until tomorrow afternoon. Although Yun Yongzhu had been following the treasure hunting butterfly to find spiritual medicines, he still controlled the general direction himself. This Xianlang Mountain was at the outermost edge of the Zuanshan secret realm, and there were no fairy fruits and purple salvia milchiahiza that he wanted. Yun Yongzhu only had 1 month, so of course he would not stay in this place for long. However, Today he also had a big harvest in this Xianlang mountain area, a second level upper grade demon beast in a pill that has a great chance of being used to refine a foundation building pill. Yun Yongzhu was very happy thinking about today's harvest. Apart from the demon beast in a pill, the Huan Iron flower and Yexin flower were indeed third level spiritual medicines. As long as he collected 8 more, he would be able to get a foundation building pill as a reward. Yun Yongzhu patted the storage bag in his arms and released the treasure hunting butterfly Wuke and the soul devouring golden cicada Cyanogen to be on guard. Cyanogen, Wuke, you to keep watch for me. If there is any situation, wake me up immediately. Although he had set up the maze array and the golden light array, Yun Yongzhu was still a little worried and released the 2 spirit beasts to be on guard. After all, these demon beasts and spirit beasts are more sensitive than human cultivators. After instructing the 2 spirit pets, Yun Yongzhu took out the bedding roll and spread it out, and then fell into a shallow sleep. Before the cultivators have established their foundation, they are actually not much different from ordinary people. Although he has reduced his sleep, sometimes he can restore his physical strength and energy by meditating for 1 or 2 hours, but he still needs to sleep for a while so that his soul can get a full rest. Especially in a dangerous place like Zhuanshan Secret Realm, his mind has been tense all day, and he can only relax his soul through sleep. The reason why Yun Yongzhu prepared 2 first level superior formations, 1 for attack and 1 for defense, is to rest at ease at night in the Secret Realm. He has only 1 life, so Yun Yongzhu must cherish it very much. If he loses his mind and has an accident when fighting with monsters or cultivators because of lack of energy, then everything will be over. Yun Yongzhu woke up at the beginning of the next day at the beginning of the Mao without a dream. Even in the Secret Realm, he did not give up cultivation. Now he has just entered the 9th level of key training and has not yet cultivated to the perfect state of key training, so he cannot slack off in cultivation, which is also good for his foundation building in the future. Moreover, the spiritual energy in this Zhuanshan Secret Realm is very rich. If he does not practice, he will live up to this great spiritual environment. An hour later, Yun Yongzhu finished his training and began to collect the formation flags. After packing up, he directed the treasure hunting butterfly Wuke to continue searching for spiritual herbs and medicines in the east. Keep going east, and you will enter a place called Zizyalin. The secret map shows that purple salvia milchiahiza has appeared there. With the beginning of Huan Iron flower and Yexin flower, Yun Yongzhu did not rush on the road blindly. He went to Zizyalin while collecting spiritual herbs and medicines along the way. It was a pity that he was not as lucky as yesterday. He only collected 3 or 5 second level spiritual herbs sporadically. I don't know if he had 60 points in the sect. Yun Yongzhu followed the treasure hunting butterfly Wuke and walked east with the soul devouring golden cicada. It was not until noon that a 3rd level low grade spiritual medicine called Langaya fruit was found on the top of the cliff of Xianlang mountain. Yun Yongzhu sent the soul devouring golden cicada to stir up trouble, but no snake came out to guard the Langaya fruit. So he did not hesitate and quickly finished picking them and then stopped slowly searching for spiritual medicine. After putting the soul devouring golden cicada and the treasure hunting butterfly into the spiritual beast bag, he immediately fled from this place. Chapter 147, The Appearance of a Level 3 Monster. Yun Yongzhu's decision was very decisive. In order to leave this area quickly, he slapped a first grade high quality magic talisman on his thigh. The use of the magic talisman can increase the speed of the cultivator several times. Although the high quality magic talisman can only be used for half a quarter of an hour, its speed is 3 to 5 times that of the middle and low quality magic talismans. In order to save his life in the secret realm, most of the talismans prepared by Yun Yongzhu are of first grade high quality. But the cheapest first grade high quality talisman costs about 5 spirit stones. The more expensive high quality talismans cost 7 or 8 spirit stones each. There are even several first grade high quality talismans that cost more than 10 spirit stones each. Even if he has a lot of spirit stones, he can't buy more than 1,500 first grade high quality talismans whenever he wants. Fortunately, his second senior brother Hanlin is a second grade low quality talisman maker. He has some talisman inventory and many talisman maker friends. With the help of his second senior brother, he was able to collect so many talismans and brought them into the Zuanshan secret realm. In just half a quarter of an hour, Yun Yongzhu, with the help of the magic talisman, had moved more than 20 miles away from Xianlang Mountain and arrived at an unnamed mountain next to Xianlang Mountain. At this time, the magic talisman had become ineffective. Yun Yongzhu thought that, since he had moved so far away, there should be no danger, so he did not use the magic talisman again. Just when he wanted to release the 5-color treasure hunting butterfly, he suddenly heard a loud cry from the sky. Li. Before Yun Yongzhu looked up, a large shadow passed over his head. Yun Yongzhu felt a strong spiritual power wave passing through the sky. It was a divine wind eagle. He was shocked. He had only felt such momentum on the body of Jinden Zenran. This was a 3rd level divine wind eagle. Seeing that the divine wind eagle was not concealed and went to the top of Xianlang Mountain in a high-profile manner, Yun Yongzhu suddenly felt a sense of impending disaster in his heart. Could it be that the Langaya fruit belonged to this divine wind eagle? Yun Yongzhu's idea was very reasonable. There was not even a single demon beast on the top of Xianlang Mountain, but the spiritual energy on the top of the mountain was very rich. Moreover, a 3rd level spiritual medicine Langaya fruit did not have a demon beast guarding it. This was obviously not normal. It was precisely because of this that Yun Yongzhu was in a hurry to leave there. He did not expect that this place was the territory of a 3rd level demon beast. Regardless of whether the divine wind eagle was the owner of the Langaya fruit, Yun Yongzhu had no intention of staying here any longer. He immediately took out the divine wind talisman and wanted to get further away. Before Yun Yongzhu put his spiritual power into the talisman, he heard a shrill cry from the top of Xianlang Mountain, and the sound resounded through the sky. He could hear the anger and fierceness of the divine wind eagle from the sound. Sure enough, Yun Yongzhu sighed secretly and let go of the fluke mentality in his heart. The Langaya fruit must be related to the divine wind eagle. From the appearance of the divine wind eagle to its shrill cry, it was only about 10 breaths. After Yun Yongzhu confirmed that the Langaya fruit was related to the divine wind eagle, he immediately slapped the activated divine travel talisman in his hand on his calf. Yun Yongzhu would never give up the elixir in his hand. In fact, the main reason was that, even if Yun Yongzhu was willing to return it, the monster was not a reasonable creature and would not let him go. Just as Yun Yongzhu used the divine travel talisman to escape to a farther place, the divine wind eagle had already discovered Yun Yongzhu, the thief who stole his elixir. It screamed angrily again, flapped its huge wings that were 30 or 40 feet long, and flew towards Yun Yongzhu. Although the divine wind eagle was more than 3,000 feet high in the sky, its eyes were very sharp. Even though Yun Yongzhu's figure was as small as an ant, and it was moving very fast, and in a dense forest, it still could not escape its eyes. The divine wind eagle flapped its wings twice, which was the time of a breath, and it shortened the distance between it and Yun Yongzhu by nearly half. Yun Yongzhu looked back and saw that the 3rd level divine wind eagle was so fast. If it continued like this, he would be caught up by it in less than 3 breaths. He suddenly felt frightened and felt that he was about to meet the king of hell. Facing a 3rd level monster, there is no doubt that Yun Yongzhu would die without a burial place. In a flash, Yun Yongzhu remembered his 2nd level low-grade life-saving talisman, the Earth Escape talisman, which he had not easily obtained. Although he was very reluctant, he took it out without hesitation and activated it decisively and slapped it on himself. This precious 2nd level low-grade Earth Escape talisman can instantly smuggle to a distance of 500 miles after use, disappearing without a trace. The moment Yun Yongzhu slapped the 2nd level Earth Escape talisman on himself, he was wrapped in a shield and escaped deep into the ground. But before Yun Yongzhu's body was buried, he heard the angry cry of the divine wind eagle and then felt a huge spiritual power slapping at him. Yun Yongzhu's eyes were filled with fear, but before the spiritual power could hit him, his eyes went dark and he could not see anything. When his eyes lit up again, he found that he had arrived in an unfamiliar place, which took no more than 2 breaths. Yun Yongzhu took a deep breath and relaxed. It was too thrilling just now. He felt that the god of death was standing next to him, and the sickle in his hand was less than 3 feet away from him. When he recovered from his fear, he remembered the second level low-grade Earth Escape talisman he had used, and he could not help but feel pain in his heart. This second level Earth Escape talisman was very precious. With the help of his second senior brother, he only used 220 spirit stones to buy a low-grade Earth Escape talisman. Fortunately, when his master gave him the heavenly silkworm armor, he also gave him 2 low-grade Earth Escape talismans to save his life. In fact, he had more than just Earth Escape talismans in his hand, but compared with the first level high-grade Flying Escape talisman and the second level low-grade Fire Escape talisman, the Earth Escape talisman was more concealed. The Divine Wind Eagle was extremely fast, and he was afraid that using other escape talismans would leave traces. Yun Yongzhu sighed. He didn't expect that he would encounter a third-level monster on the second day of entering the Zuanshan secret realm. Using a precious Earth Escape talisman was equivalent to using up his life. However, thinking that he could escape from the Divine Wind Eagle, he felt that the Earth Escape talisman was worth using. Moreover, Yun Yongzhu was very shocked by the effect of this second-level inferior Earth Escape talisman. However, in just a few breaths, he went from one place to another. Yun Yongzhu looked at the surrounding environment. This place was not outside, but looked more like a cave passage. He carefully slapped a first-level inferior wood armor talisman on himself, and released 2 spirit insects. As soon as the treasure-hunting butterfly Wuke came out of the spirit beast bag, it flapped its big wings excitedly. Yun Yongzhu could sense its excitement, and knew it had found the trace of the spiritual medicine, so he ordered, "Wuke, lead the way." Then he sent a message to the soul-devouring golden cicada, "Zyajin, pay attention to the surroundings. Protect me immediately if there is any danger." Yun Yongzhu didn't need to give any special instructions. He had cultivated these 2 spiritual insects since they were eggs. After years of companionship, they were very loyal and close to him. Zyajin and Wuke had long regarded Yun Yongzhu as their master and mother. It was their instinct to protect Yun Yongzhu. The cave passage was very large, and there was no end in sight. There were many forks, but there seemed to be no trace of monsters. Despite this, Yun Yongzhu did not relax his vigilance at all. He held the fire snake sword in one hand, and placed the other hand on the storage bag, ready to take out the appropriate talisman at any time. He followed Wuke carefully step by step. After turning 5 corners, the view in front of him finally opened up. Yun Yongzhu was shocked by the scene in front of him. He stood there like a wooden chicken, unable to believe his eyes. "I struggled for a long time to figure out the call of the kamikaze eagle. I was looking for an onomatopoeia for the golden eagle, but unfortunately I couldn't find a suitable one. The call is very majestic. You can imagine what he saw in your mind." "Sorry, I just found out this morning that I set the wrong timer. It was set to 6:30 on the 14th. Chapter 148 4th level elixir. Yun Yongzhu rubbed his eyes, but the scene in front of him did not change at all. A huge surprise suddenly surged into his heart. Soul nourishing grass, illusion heart grass, magnolia fruit, fairy fruit, purple salvia milchiahiza, fortune fruit, crimson cloud grass, longevity fruit, 9-leaf ganoderma, purple rhyme dragon emperor ginseng. Yun Yongzhu looked at them one by one. There were a total of 30 high-level spiritual medicines. The deeper he went, the more precious the spiritual medicines were. However, the more he looked, the more suspicious he became. As an excellent alchemist who was a disciple of a third-level upper-grade alchemist, he knew a lot about spiritual medicines. Even if he was just an alchemy apprentice, he should know that the spiritual medicines produced on the earth have different properties. Therefore, spiritual medicines with different medicinal properties have different requirements for their growth environment. But although the area here is relatively large, the environment is not different. It is impossible for so many high-level spiritual medicines with different medicinal properties to grow in one place. Yun Yongzhu thought that he must have been bewitched by something. Thinking of this, he regained his rationality and his excitement calmed down instantly. He did not act rashly and quietly ordered the soul-devouring golden cicada to perform the soul-calming technique, but nothing happened. Yun Yongzhu carefully observed the spiritual medicine field, trying to find the flaws in it. Unfortunately, nearly a quarter of an hour passed, and Yun Yongzhu still did not find anything wrong. Even so, he was not fooled by this appearance. He firmly believed that this spiritual medicine field could not be real. Unconsciously, Yun Yongzhu approached the spiritual medicine field, stopped in front of a soul-nourishing grass, squatted down, and carefully identified it. The color of the whole plant, the number of leaves, and even the veins and fine hairs on the leaves are exactly the same as the soul-nourishing grass he saw in the alchemy competition. Yun Yongzhu reached out and touched it in disbelief. The touch was very real. Then he leaned in and smelled it. He immediately felt a sense of comfort in his mind, and he could also feel that his soul was being nourished a little bit. Yun Yongzhu was surprised. This is a real soul-nourishing grass. Because even the most brilliant illusion can't make the effect of the spiritual medicine come out. Then he suddenly became ecstatic. Since the soul-nourishing grass is real, there is no reason why other spiritual medicines are fake. He stood up and looked at the 30 high-level spiritual medicines in front of him. He smelled the faint medicinal fragrance of the spiritual medicines and felt that his previous conclusion was too arbitrary. Nothing can happen in this world of immortal cultivation. Moreover, this is a Zhuanshan secret realm. Even the great masters of the Yuanying period are helpless in this place and have no way to get in. Maybe there is something magical in this cave, so it can allow so many spiritual medicines to coexist. Yun Yongzhu thought. He really is surprised by what he has never seen before. He laughed at his own suspicion for a moment and then took a deep breath to calm his excitement and joy. Yun Yongzhu no longer delayed time and took out the golden jade shovels and small hose with great joy. He carefully dug the soul-nourishing grass under his feet while giggling. He couldn't help but be happy. After collecting these spiritual herbs, his purpose of entering the Zhuanshan secret realm had been achieved. Among these 30 spiritual herbs, there were 2 fairy fruits and 3 purple salvia ginsengs, which would give him 2 foundation building pills as rewards, and 1 more purple salvia ginseng. The remaining spiritual herbs combined were more than enough to get 2 foundation building pills as rewards. Once he got out of the cave, he could easily get 3 foundation building pills as rewards with a little effort. Yun Yongzhu became happier and happier as he thought about it. The corners of his mouth kept rising, as if he had anticipated the successful foundation building of his family of 3. He was like a possessed man, holding a small jade shovel in his hand and digging carefully on a piece of open space, and he dug a piece here and a piece there with gentle movements, as if he was discovering some treasure. The soul-eating golden cicada Zyajin had been following Yun Yongzhu to protect him. The treasure-seeking butterfly Wuke found that its master did not keep up with it, so it had to return. The 2 little figures circled around Yun Yongzhu, wondering what their master was doing. Wuke anxiously stopped at Yun Yongzhu's right shoulder, conveying his thoughts to Yun Yongzhu, telling his master that it had found a very high-level spiritual medicine, but Yun Yongzhu was immersed in the joy of harvest and had no sense of the thoughts conveyed by the treasure-hunting butterfly. At this time, Yun Yongzhu had already dug out a soul-nourishing grass. He put the spiritual medicine in his palm and turned it over and over again, and finally confirmed that it was indeed a soul-nourishing grass. Then he put the spiritual medicine he had coveted for a long time into a jade box, made of first level upper grade warm sun jade, but sighed in his heart. It was a pity that this soul-nourishing grass would eventually have to be handed over to the sect. Zyajin is a second level lower grade spiritual insect, and its intelligence is higher than Wuke. Seeing Yun Yongzhu take out a jade box, carefully put something in it, and then put the empty box back into the storage bag, he finally felt something was wrong. So it anxiously flew up and down around Yun Yongzhu, and like a treasure hunting butterfly, it transmitted its thoughts to Yun Yongzhu, hoping to wake up this crazy master. But what it did, just like Wuke, was in vain. The soul-eating golden cicada flapped its 4-petaled wings, activated its small brain, and finally thought of a solution that was not a solution. It suddenly stirred its chest and made a sharp cry. Zyajin used its innate magical power soul calming technique on its master. Yun Yongzhu was digging for the next spiritual medicine and suddenly felt that his head was hit hard. He staggered a step, and after a moment, he suddenly felt that his 2 spirit beasts were transmitting anxious emotions to him. The power of soul calming technique is very powerful, especially after the soul-eating golden cicada advances. It can even hurt the soul of a low-level cultivator when it is fully exerted. However, the soul-eating golden cicada could not be so cruel to its master, so Yun Yongzhu was not seriously injured. 5 colors? Zyojin. Why are you using your innate magical powers on me? If you have anything to say, wait until I dig out these spiritual medicines. Yun Yongzhu's mind was now completely filled with these high-level spiritual medicines he imagined. After he finished speaking, he turned to the spiritual medicine field. Where are my spiritual medicines? Master, there are nothing in the first place. What spiritual medicine? Yun Yongzhu remembered that Zyojin used the soul calming technique on him, and he couldn't help but have a bad idea. He quickly took out the soul nourishing grass he had just collected to check. He looked at the empty Nuanyang jade box and couldn't help but feel lost. It was indeed fake. It was a false joy. Yun Yongzhu really couldn't bear the ups and downs of this life. He wiped his face with his hand. It was not right. Yun Yongzhu looked around. There was nothing except stones. He would not fall into an illusion for no reason, and it was so real. His soul was indeed nourished, and his spiritual power did increase a little. Zyojin, where were you taking me just now? The cicada and the butterfly were delighted to see Yun Yongzhu finally normal. Wu Kei continued to lead the way. Yun Yongzhu followed eagerly and saw a 6 or 7 foot tall spiritual medicine coming into his sight at a turn. 10,000 year spiritual medicine. Yun Yongzhu carefully identified it for a while and then hesitantly thought in his heart, this is a 4th level top grade phantom flower. Updates will be late, but they will not be interrupted. Chapter 149, Fantasy Flower. Yun Yongzhu was about to approach to check when he suddenly remembered something. He took out a talisman and activated it and slapped it on his forehead. This is a precious first grade upper grade concentration talisman, worth 12 spirit stones. After using it, it can make the cultivator calm down and concentrate, strengthen concentration, and is not easily affected by illusions. As soon as Yun Yongzhu used this talisman, he felt his mind was at peace and his brain was cool. He was like being enlightened. All the worries and guesses in his mind were cleared away, and his attention was unprecedentedly focused. Yun Yongzhu was also afraid that he would fall into the illusion for no reason like before, and couldn't extricate himself. Moreover, he was no longer sure whether the 10,000-year-old elixir he saw in front of him was real. Thinking of the scene when he was addicted to the illusion before, he was still a little sad. If Zyojin hadn't woken him up in time, he didn't know when he would find out the truth. Then Yun Yongzhu took out a lower grade wooden armor talisman and activated it and slapped it on his body, quickly forming a light green opaque wooden armor on his body. The wooden armor talisman armor from before had become ineffective and dissipated after such a long time. Yun Yongzhu sacrificed the golden tortoise shield, a top grade defensive magic weapon, and held his breath after he was fully prepared and continued to slowly approach the 10,000-year-old spiritual medicine. He did not go too close, but just stayed 3 feet away from the 10,000-year-old spiritual medicine. Yun Yongzhu circled around the 6-foot-tall spiritual medicine, carefully observing it and feeling its spiritual power fluctuations. The more he observed and felt, the more he felt that this spiritual medicine was a magical flower. Judging from its height and the number of petals, it is at least tens of thousands of years old. Yun Yongzhu did not learn about this magical flower from the classics of the sect, but heard his master Huang Changsheng mention it by chance. The magical flower is a rare 4th grade top grade spiritual medicine, and is a main ingredient for refining the magical pill. However, this magical pill is a magical pill taken by the Yun stage powerhouse, which has great benefits for the soul and cultivation of the Yun stage ancestors. Huang Changsheng had never seen the magic flower, but he described its appearance to his apprentice Yun Yongzhu. The whole magic flower is divided into leaves, stems, and flowers. The leaves are a gradient of dark blue and are shaped like a small sword. The stems are green, and the petals are divided into 3, 6, and 9 petals. If there are 3 petals, it is a 4th level low grade spiritual medicine. If there are 6 petals, it is a 4th level medium grade spiritual medicine. If there are 9 petals, it is a 4th level high grade spiritual medicine. But no matter how many petals a magic flower has, each petal of its flower has a different color. The one in front of Yun Yongzhu is a 9-petal magic flower, which means that this magic flower has grown for at least tens of thousands of years, and its grade has reached the 4th level high grade. In order to confirm his guess, Yun Yongzhu relaxed his nasal cavity and took a deep breath. Sure enough, although he did not smell the fragrance of this magic flower, he clearly felt that his soul was being nourished, and the power of his soul had increased slightly. Yun Yongzhu was a little surprised. You know, his soul power can no longer be increased through cultivation. He can only let the soul-devouring golden cicada devour the essence of the monster to nourish his soul and increase his soul power and consciousness. The 4th level spiritual medicine is worthy of being a 4th level spiritual medicine. Just taking a breath of the flower fragrance can nourish his soul, and the effect is not much worse than the soul-devouring golden cicada devouring the soul. However, the illusion pill refined by this 4th level illusion flower can even have a miraculous effect on the great power of the nascent soul stage. Its main ingredient, the illusion flower, can of course nourish the soul for him, a low-level cultivator in the key refining stage, not to mention that this is a 4th level top-grade illusion flower that has grown for tens of thousands of years. When Yun Yongzhu thought of the effect of the illusion flower, he suddenly realized why he had previously believed in the authenticity of the soul-nourishing grass in the illusion. Although both the illusion flower and the soul-nourishing grass can nourish the soul of the cultivator, the medicinal effect of the illusion flower is more than 100 times that of the soul-nourishing grass, and the illusion flower also has an instinct for self-preservation. The reason why the illusionary god flower is called the illusionary god flower is that it has the instinct to confuse monks and monsters, to prevent itself from being picked or eaten by monsters. It confuses the soul of the monks and can weave a perfect illusion based on the things that the monks desire most in their hearts. Yun Yongzhu was tricked in this way, which also taught him a lesson. It was because he was too obsessed with his parents' foundation building that he was eager to get the spiritual medicine and the illusion. It was also because the illusionary god flower had this instinct that it was more difficult to find than the soul-nourishing grass. Even though he was very sure that he was not deceived this time, and the illusions he encountered before could be reasonably explained, Yun Yongzhu still used his mind to communicate with the treasure hunting butterfly to confirm. He was also afraid of the rope after being bitten by a snake. Okay, is this the spiritual medicine you brought me to find? After getting a definite answer, Yun Yongzhu took out the tools with confidence and prepared to collect this 10,000-year-old illusionary god flower. This is much easier than collecting the soul-nourishing grass. The soul-nourishing grass is made of the whole spiritual grass, which needs to be dug out as a whole. As for the magic flower, the only part that has medicinal effects is the flower. Yun Yongzhu used a jade dagger to easily cut the flower path of the magic flower and soon cut off the flower part. At the moment when Yun Yongzhu cut off the flower path, the leaves in the 4-foot-long flower path left by the magic flower immediately turned into ashes and dissipated. He ignored these and carefully put the cut magic flower into a huge jade box made of 3rd level top grade soul jade. Speaking of which, he only prepared 3 jade boxes made of 3rd level soul jade, and this one was the largest, which was just enough to hold this magic flower. Before entering the secret realm, Master Lin talked about many rules for spiritual medicine rewards. For this 4th level spiritual medicine, it was only said that a few foundation building pills would be rewarded, but the specific number was not specified. Yun Yongzhu also inquired about it. Although there are many spiritual medicines in this Zuanshan secret realm, 4th level spiritual medicines are very rare. In thousands of years, only 2 plants have been taken out. He was looking forward to the number of foundation building pills that the magic flower could reward. After all, it was a spiritual medicine that could be used by the ancestors in the nascent soul stage. It was useless to think too much at this time. The right thing to do was to hurry up and get out. After putting the jade box containing the magic flower into the storage bag, Yun Yongzhu wanted to find the exit. Unfortunately, after searching for half an hour, the 2 beasts still couldn't find the exit. In desperation, Yun Yongzhu had to put Cyanogen and Wukei into the spirit beast bag, and then used a 1st level top grade earth escape talisman. The 5-element escape talisman is more precious and rare than the ice, wind, and thunder attribute talismans, and is usually in short supply. If it weren't for the help of his second brother Hanlin, he would have had a hard time getting an escape talisman by himself, unless he went to ask his master Huang Chengsheng for help. The Earth Escape Talisman is also a kind of Earth attributed escape talisman, but it is a world apart from the Earth Escape Talisman. The first level top grade Earth Escape Talisman can travel up to 50 miles, and its speed is not as fast as the Earth Escape Talisman. However, this does not affect the value of the Earth Escape Talisman. Even a first level low grade Earth Escape Talisman requires 25 spirit stones in the market. The first level high grade Earth Escape Talisman he used costs 48 spirit stones. If there was no other way, he would never use a first level high grade Earth Escape Talisman. It was a pity that he did not have a first level medium low grade Earth Escape Talisman prepared. As soon as Yun Yongzhu slapped the Earth Escape Talisman on his body, it was only 3 or 5 breaths before his eyes became bright. He squinted his eyes to adapt to the brightness outside. Yun Yongzhu looked around. This should be the Butterfly Valley, or 1,000 miles away from Xianlang Mountain. He harvested a 4th level high grade spiritual medicine Huanshan flower, and he was no longer as anxious as when he first entered the secret realm. He had just released the treasure hunting butterfly bouquet from the spirit beast bag when he sensed the movement of the concentric jade pendant. Seeing it flashing with a strange red light, Yun Yongzhu knew that Ning Horan, the owner of the other half of the concentric jade pendant, was within 1,000 miles of him. Because of the heart demon oath, Yun Yongzhu did not hesitate too much. He directly followed the instructions of the tungsten jade pendant and looked for the owner of the other half of the tungsten jade pendant. When the two of them explored the Zhuanshan secret realm together, their safety would be greatly increased, and they would gain more. How many foundation building pills should be exchanged for the 4th level spiritual medicine Huanshan flower? Chapter 150 Floating Flowers. An hour later, Yun Yongzhu successfully found Ning Horan, the owner of the other half of the tungsten jade pendant. However, he did not look very good. There were more than a dozen people besieging him, and there were several corpses of fellow disciples lying not far away. Ning Horan, hand over your storage bag, and we will spare your life today. Hand it over. Facing these people's words, Ning Horan said nothing, and quickly made a sword gesture. The sword-shaped magic weapon in front of him was divided into 100, attacking more than a dozen monks who besieged him. In a blink of an eye, the scene was reversed, and it became Ning Horan besieging more than a dozen of them alone. It turned out that Ning Horan was a sword cultivator. Yun Yongzhu had some eyesight, and recognized that Ning Horan's sword was different from his fire snake sword. Not all monks with sword-shaped magic weapons can be called sword cultivators. Although Yun Yongzhu was deaf to the outside world, he also knew that the sword of a sword cultivator was more spiritual than the sword of an ordinary monk. The sword cultivation is not like the cultivation of magic tools by ordinary cultivators. Yun Yongzhu is not very clear about the specific method of cultivating the sword. However, he knows that the sword in the hands of a sword cultivator, even if it is only a low-grade magic tool, is much more powerful than the medium-grade magic tools in the hands of ordinary cultivators. And sword cultivators can often cross a large realm and fight with other cultivators without losing. Yun Yongzhu did not practice the sword formula specifically. He usually used the most basic object control technique to command his fire snake sword. Seeing Ning Horan's great power, using the magic formula to quickly solve the group of fellow disciples who wanted to kill people and steal treasures, Yun Yongzhu was amazed in his heart. No wonder he was able to win the first place in the Zhuanshan competition. No wonder the master asked him to protect himself. Ning Horan's martial arts value is really high. After Ning Horan solved these fellow disciples who wanted to kill people and steal treasures, he turned and shouted in the direction of Yun Yongzhu, "Come out." Unexpectedly, Ning Horan could find someone spying nearby while fighting the enemy. After Yun Yongzhu came out, Ning Horan saw the red glowing concentric jade pendant on Yun Yongzhu's waist, then looked down at his own, and after a careful sense, he asked, "Master ZHU, it's me." Seeing Yun Yongzhu admit it, Ning Horan breathed a sigh of relief, then took out a bottle of pills from his storage bag, poured out a pill and swallowed it. As an outstanding first-class top-grade alchemist, Yun Yongzhu recognized it at a glance. It was a top grade key recovering pill. After taking it, it can restore 80% of the spiritual power of a cultivator in the key training period in one stick of incense. It seems that, although Ninghoran acted very relaxed just now, in fact, his spiritual power is almost exhausted. Master ZHU's disguise technique is truly amazing. If it weren't for the tungsten jade pendant, I wouldn't have dared to confirm your identity. I don't know any disguise techniques, I just use the power of the elixir. By the way, your harvest looks good, and people are chasing you to kill people and steal treasures. Master ZHU, you are too polite. It's still a long way from the foundation building elixir. Before Yun Yongzhu could ask, Ninghoran explained the whole story in detail, while picking up the storage bags of more than 10 dead fellow disciples. Yun Yongzhu felt guilty after listening to Ninghoran's words. It seems that he also contributed to Ninghoran's being hunted down this time. It turned out that Ninghoran encountered an attack by a 3rd level monster, the Divine Wind Eagle, today. He finally escaped with his life, but was surrounded by this group of cultivators, who insisted that he must have stolen the elixir of the monster, so he was attacked, and asked him to hand over the false high level elixir. Yun Yongzhu felt that the Divine Wind Eagle that Ninghoran mentioned was most likely the one he encountered in Xianlang Mountain. Ninghoran did not steal any spiritual medicine, and even if he did, he would not give it to others. All the disciples risked their lives to enter this Zuanshan secret realm to get the reward of the foundation building pill. How could Ninghoran give the spiritual medicine that could get the foundation building pill to others? Soon, Ninghoran put away the storage bags of all the dead fellow disciples. After about an incense stick of time, Ninghoran's face looked much better. Although he had a great power in the fight just now, he also consumed a lot of spiritual power. At this time, his spiritual power was about 80% restored. Master ZHU, let's go. Junior brother Ning, it's better to be careful. You should still call me senior brother Yang. Even though his appearance and spiritual power aura changed, Yun Yongzhu still didn't want to leave any flaws. Senior brother Yang. Ninghoran followed suit. Well, junior brother Ning, where are we going now? Let's stay away. If we run into that beast again, I don't know if we can escape with our lives. Yun Yongzhu knew that he was talking about the 3rd level Divine Wind Eagle. He was also afraid of running into that monster bird, so he had no objection. The two of them took out the 1st level inferior divine travel talisman and hurried on their way, not stopping until half an hour later. Junior brother Yang, this is Qingfeng Valley. Let's look for fairy fruit and purple salvia milchiahiza, or high-level spiritual medicine. The two discussed the distribution plan for the next harvest, and then followed the treasure hunting butterfly bouquet to start the road to find spiritual medicine. It has been a long time since anyone came to Qingfeng Valley. The valley is so lush with vegetation that there is no place to step. Fortunately, both of them are cultivators of the 9th level of key training. As soon as the treasure hunting butterfly entered Qingfeng Valley, it flew straight into the depths, and the two followed one after the other. With Ninghoran joining, Yun Yongzhu felt much more relaxed. He no longer had to be alert to the surroundings. Most of his energy was focused on bouquet. After all, this treasure hunting butterfly was very rare. If something unexpected happened, he would suffer a great loss. They did not encounter any danger along the way. They soon entered the depths of Qingfeng Valley and were brought to the ridge by the treasure hunting butterfly. The two of them were sensitive to the fact that the mountain wind was getting stronger and stronger, and they could not even stabilize their bodies. Junior brother Ning, do you have the wind fixing talisman? No. Yun Yongzhu handed him 2 1st level lower grade wind fixing talismans. With the wind fixing talismans, the two of them stabilized their bodies in the increasingly strong mountain wind. As soon as the mountain wind reached a distance of 3 feet around the two of them, it dissipated into nothingness. As for the treasure hunting butterfly bouquet, it was enjoying itself in the wind at this time. It was a spirit insect with a wind attribute, so it was known for its speed. Brother Yang, you've prepared enough. Not bad. My second brother is a 2nd level lower grade talisman maker, so I'm taking advantage of him. The further they went, the more excited the treasure hunting butterfly became. Yun Yongzhu knew they were almost there. Brother Ning, we are almost at the place where the spiritual medicine grows. Pay attention to the vicinity. Ning Horan nodded solemnly. Even if Yun Yongzhu didn't say it, he knew where to pay attention. Sure enough, it didn't take long for the two of them to see a large area of spiritual medicine. Floating flower. Is this the floating flower? Floating flower, a spiritual medicine of wind attribute, is commonly found in places with rich wind attribute spiritual energy. This floating flower is the main ingredient for refining Feng'an pill, and can also be used to refine other spiritual pills of wind attribute. For cultivators with wind attribute mutant spiritual roots, Feng'an pill is a spiritual pill with better efficacy than Jiling pill, because its main ingredient, floating flower, contains rich wind spiritual power. Unfortunately, there is only 1/3 level plant, and only 5 second level plants. Yun Yongzhu recognized at a glance that among this large number of floating flowers, only 6 were useful to the two of them. The grade of floating flowers is not fixed, and it is similar to the phantom flower, with a fixed grade, based on the growth year. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.